What is going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. Uh, Welcome to another show. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, as always. Let me see here. Shout out to the Fizzam. Let's see what we got going on here. Let me make sure that I got this right here. All right. All right. Yeah, another beautiful day. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here once again. Happy to wake up another day. Happy for all of y'all to wake up as well. Hope y'all doing good. Hope your families are doing good. It's another Saturday. It's I think it's starting to dry up, but it's been rainy. It was a rainy Friday night on the East Coast. It is what it is. It is what it is. I got my cup of Joe or cup of Joanne, whatever, you know what I mean. Got the iced coffee today. Let me shout out to everybody. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. Walter Blackman is in the building. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Said, good morning, Ron. I hope you and your family is doing well. I'm waiting on the show. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Ooh, interesting. Walter says, I wouldn't play Brunson the rest of the regular season until his foot is 100% healthy. You know, as much as I don't want to say that, I might have to agree with you, Walter. Like this team is gonna only go as far as Brunson, Randall. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say just those two. As far as Brunson and Randall can take them. And I really don't think they're gonna be able to go that far without either one of them. Um, we need both. So I'm with you on that. I definitely agree. That's important. We'll see what happens, man, because this is uh this is this is not good. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It's not good. You know what I mean? It's not good. JJ's in the building. Salute, my brother. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're doing good as always. Geraldine McIva, the first lady of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community, is in the building. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Salute, Geraldine. Angel Torres is in the building. Salute. He said, Ron Amigo, hope you are doing well. Same as your family, my prayers. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Pudge Night says, time to predict the rest of the season. Oh, this is the worst time to predict because I don't know what's going on, man. Now we're dealing with health of one of our better players, too. Man, it's tough. Pudge says, shout out to Cam balling out in Portland. Tibbs is a sucker. Hey, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Would I have liked to have Cam here? Yes. Do I like having Josh Hart here? Yes. So, it is what it is, man. Could there have been a way where we could have had both? Possibly. I don't know. If things would have, played out differently, but it is what it is. David L's in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you. Ernesto Duverge is in the building. Salute, Ernesto. Good to see you. Well, listen, let's just see. I'm in agreement that Cam has been playing really good basketball lately, but I've I've watched Cam, so let's give it some time. Let's see if he can keep it up because Cam can give you stuff in spurts. Let's see if Cam can keep it going. I wish him the best, and I want to see him ball out. But let's just give it some time, folks. Give it some time. That's all I'm saying. Walter Blackman says 46 and 36. Okay, I can see that. I mean, that makes sense. Dwayne Dennis is in the building. Salute. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. Let me see here. Sherwin is in the building. What's going on, Sherwin? Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hopefully you and yours are doing well. Corey Lee. Oh, wait. Corey Lee is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, my brother. Cormega, what's good, my guy? Hopefully you're doing all right, man. Hope another good day, man. Another good day. Wishing you the best, you and yours. Ron Sarmiento is in the building. Salute, my brother. Good to see you. Will Salkin is here. Appreciate you. Thank you as always, Will. Hopefully you're doing good, man. So a couple things. Drop my armrest down here. You know what? Let me start with this. First off, guys, I don't always do this, especially if it doesn't apply to basketball, but you know, it is what it is. And you know, if you guys don't know, I'm a big R&B guy. Love R&B music. Can't stop, won't stop. No, I'm sorry. That's just a Diddy thing. It just popped up. No, but seriously, I love R&B music. It's my favorite music in the world. I also like hip hop though. And you know, Math Hoffa has a show on YouTube, which you guys have probably already known about if you watch hip hop stuff or into that stuff. But the reason why I bring it up, and it's called My Expert Opinion, right? Is because he tries to do you know, his best to get a lot of guests on, especially guests that we haven't heard from in a while, or maybe you know, haven't had a platform to really speak about, you know, their careers and stuff like that. Same thing you might see on a Drink Champs with Nori. But Math Hoffa had Cannabis on the show not too long ago, and I just want to say that that might be one of the best interviews I've seen on a hip hop platform in quite some time. And you know, I just think it's really interesting to watch some of these people because we see them in the limelight, we see them in front of us, and you know, you think you know their story, but you really don't know their story, man. Especially when you're young, you're just paying attention to the music. You don't care about people's lives as much as, you know, because you're young. As being an older person and watching Cannabis's story and looking through, you know, the things that he went through, and just him being misunderstood, his real intentions, but how we viewed him on the outside because of his actions or his style, it made you feel he was a certain way. So I just want to say it was a really good show. Shout out to Math Hoffa. Great interview. Keep doing your thing. And, you know, shout out to Cannabis, man. One of the best to ever do it. Just really never really got a shot to take things to that next level the way others have, but really misunderstood. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Just watching that, it makes you think about life. You know what I mean? How the turns you take, or how people perceive you, or what doors open or doors don't open. So I thought that was really dope. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. So it's a really good interview if you're into hip hop and remember and respect someone like Cannabis. You should definitely check it out. All right, Vaughn Allen is in the building. He said Ron was the fourth member of Guy. Hey. Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, I was technically every time the song comes on, you hear me in the background. I'm not saying I add to the song, but I'm somewhere hitting the doo-wops, and yeah, you know what I mean? Shout out to the Morning Brew Sports. What's good, my guys? Salute to Heck, Phil, Jigga Man, the Portos. Appreciate y'all, man. Definitely salute and check these guys out, man. If y'all haven't already, what are you doing? As Heck would say. Check out the Knicks Morning Brew, or just now it's called the Morning Brew Sports. Let's keep that straight. Shout out to my guys, man. Salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let's see. Paris Duggett is in the building. He said it's easy to predict the rest of the season. The Randall Whisperer is hurt, so 100% physical talent. Randall with the 10-cent brain will destroy us with the controlling offense. Oh man, I hate to say that you could be right, Parrish, but I think that Randall has learned a lot over this time this year being around Brunson. This is where this is where the coach has to step in. This is where Brunson Senior has to step in. You know, this is where Johnny Davis has to step in and kind of put a control on the situation. It's like, look, okay, I know we don't have Jalen right now. Julius, we can't do this. RJ, we can't do this. We got to, let's look at a video. Okay. This is what we were doing right now. Just who's the next guy to step up? All right. You're going to play the Brunson role and just try to facilitate, try to break down the defense a little bit, get these guys the looks they need. You may not be able to get all the way to the rack and get your points the way Brunson was doing it, but let's see if you can break down the defense and get good shots for the rest of the guys. Keep it going. There's no need for this one-on-one stuff and then being so predictable. Like, it's just ridiculous. At some point, you got to understand these are NBA teams, NBA coaches. These players are smart. The coaches are smart. They're going to figure you out. You got to do something different. I don't get it. I hear you, JJ. I mean, listen. I think these guys just need to, like, sometimes you got to kind of be put out there and struggle a little bit and then figure out, I did this before. I can't keep doing this. Sometimes that's what has to happen for some of these guys. But we can only afford so much of that. I don't trust Randall to be the key cog, like running the show and facilitating. And RJ, I don't know, man. RJ's he struggled so much throughout this whole year. Even when he looks like he's got it together, then he struggles again. It's just really bad. And I definitely don't trust playoff Tibbs. And we're already seeing some of playoff Tibbs's, choices in the past couple games. So I don't know, guys. I'm not going to shortchange this team. This team has done a lot of good. They've looked really good. They've got a nice streak going. You lose 2 games. It's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. It's the way in which they're playing right now that you second guess and you kind of question. Like, come on, man. This offense is looking terrible. But they can get it together. Starts now. Like, let's come out and play better against the Clippers. Now, I'm not saying the Knicks are going to lose this game. They could win. But even if they lose, not that I want them to lose, but they need to play Knicks basketball, like the Knicks basketball we've seen over the past 9-game win streak, should I say. That's what we got to see today. And hopefully they get it back. I'm not 100% confident because, I thought that Julius and the guys would rebound after that first poor shooting game, but then they did it again. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Are these guys tired? Like, what's happening? No legs under the shots. I didn't pay close enough attention and I couldn't watch the Sacramento game. I tried watching it another way and it just kept going in and out. So it was what it was. So I couldn't really tell if a lot of shots were hitting the front of the rim and stuff like that. For those who may not know, they say when your jumper is hitting the front of the rim a lot, that means you got tired legs or stuff like that. So, I don't know. Let's see. Our future media is in the building. He said Brunson and shout out to you. He said Brunson is our most clutch player. I would want him to get healthy, then play hurt through these last 16 games. I agree. Like, at this point, guys, as much as we want certain things, as much as we could see the 3rd seed there, as much as we're like, we could probably get the 4th seed. It doesn't matter right now. All we need to do is worry about closing out and winning as many games as we can down the stretch and remaining with the 5th seed. We need the 5th seed. If you get that 6th seed, that's a problem. I'm going to be honest with you right now. We need that 5th seed. The 5th seed is good. It gives us a nice matchup because it could most likely mean the Cavs unless something changes. So you want to continue to keep that 5th seed. And the 4th seed doesn't matter because 4 plays 5. It don't make a difference. But we got to continue to maintain and keep that 5th seed. That's important. And getting Brunson back healthy is really important because this thing could be a lingering thing. He already twisted his ankle. Now we're talking about a foot. You guys know feet take a little time to heal. So we got to take it easy, man. Andrew Gutierrez is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Good to see you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we'll see, man, because it is a little concerning. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a little concerned. Um, Let me do this and shout everybody out too. Um, I want to thank you guys for continuing to support and share the link to the GoFundMe for my wife. I appreciate that. You know, it's never easy to put your personal business out there. And believe me, if things were different and it wasn't where I was concerned and trying to do everything I could for my wife with her health or any of my family members, if I had to do this stuff, I would never do this. I would never want to do this. You never want to, like, I don't want my business out there on social media. But it is what it is. And I just have to suck it up. But I will tell you guys, thank you to everyone who has contributed and who has supported and shared the link, whether or not you can contribute or not, who has shared the link. We're halfway to our goal. And look, be honest with you, I don't even know if the goal is enough, but I know the goal is a good point and get us to a starting point. We can get, initial stages of this treatment. And all I care about is if it helps my wife get better. And maybe that's all she needs. And maybe, her body does the rest and she can go from there. But it's important. So I thank everybody. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. So I just want to say, appreciate y'all. Let me see. Okay. Let me see here. Parrish Duggar says running Randall in the ground just before the playoffs is Tibbs' MO, right? Yeah. Well, that's not a lie. This is what Tibbs has done every stop he's been. Like, he plays his guys, and you know what I mean? No one ever kind of faults him for that when it gets down to the wire. Like, if as long as he produces, it's kind of like people let it go, or should I say front offices let it go, or what have you. If this Nick team is starting to look tired, starting to get injuries and breaking down like right before the playoffs, or if we get into the playoffs, you can point to an 8-man, 9-man rotation for an extended period of time and playing lots of minutes as part of the cause of it. I don't care what anybody else says. And I know there's other NBA teams that do some stuff similar, but Tibbs is very strict with regards to this type of rotation stuff. It helps you get wins because, at least you got the guys out there that are a little bit more dependable. But when you come into these situations where you might be at a loss, you need some people to step up and you're not giving them time to play. And then they get out there and then they don't give much value to you because they're not playing, they're not comfortable, they're not in rhythm. You're kind of defeating the purpose. So, yeah. I don't know, JJ. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. But you got a guy in Fournier who's on the bench who hits threes when he's going good, hits threes in his sleep, and he's just wasting away on the bench. He's not traded. You're not doing anything with him. I don't get it. Oh man, no, definitely. I appreciate that. Yeah, by all means, bro. Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. By all means, you can definitely do that. If that's what you choose to do, by all means, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's like this is the thing. We got to figure it out, man. We got to get it together. Free the Frenchman. Exactly. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, I understand, like, you want to have a better defensive climate out there, and you want these guys to get the system going and then stay within the system, and these are guys you depend on. All right. I think the Knicks have already kind of built the culture, right? We know they play defense. I mean, the past couple games has looked a little spotty, but we know they play much better defense. The addition of Josh Hart has helped the team tremendously. That's the culture right now. You throw in Fournier here and there for 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes, depending on what's going on. That's not going to kill your culture. It's not going to destroy the team defensively. You still got other pieces, and you got the culture. You've got different guys at spots that can help. Like this to me is a little ridiculous, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. And that was and David L. I've heard other people speak about it, but that's the big point. Like we needed a backup point guard. I know there's some people in the community that are in love with Quickly, and Quickly is a good player. I like what he's doing. I like how he's growing. I don't necessarily see him as a point guard. I've said this, and guys, don't look at me like I got two heads. I've said this a while ago. I don't necessarily see Quickly as a point guard. He's a two-way guard, but I think he's more of an in-betweener, and I would lean him more towards a shooting guard. We needed a backup point guard uh, a long time ago, and we never got one, and we still have it. For whatever reason, this team, it's very hard to get a point guard of any sort. So we can't even get a backup. And then when we did get a backup, we got the backup that, we got Archiakano, who was never going to get any time. Like like what are we doing? I don't. Snick team, man. Snick team, bro. It's tough. Namret 12 is in the building. Maybe Fournier can get hot. Come on, Tibbs. Yeah, it's a fact, man. Like, just give guys a shot. Like, you don't just forget what guys do or mean to the team. Yes, the roster construction was a little iffy last year. Fine. But we had some really good moments. And don't forget, Fournier won us a couple games, guys. It's not just that Fournier contributed and played, well in spots. No, Fournier won us a couple games. Let's not forget that. Okay. And Fournier was a key piece in how we played Boston. Not now, doesn't matter now, but in the past, he was a key piece. So I just don't think it's right, to be honest. I understood the Cam thing because there was some issues there. And I'm not saying it's right, but there was some issues there. So if you have a certain way about it and there's some issues, you do what you're going to do. There ain't no issues with Fournier. There ain't no issues with Rose. Now, I will say that we probably got to move on from Rose because I kind of feel like Rose is just on. He's Udonis Haslam right now. He's shoot, what's the guy from the Warriors? I always forget his name now. He's just holding a bench spot. He's a good person to have on the team for morale and the young guys can learn from. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if Rose is ever really going to play for this team again. Like they might throw him out there for whatever reason, but as far as to actually look for contribution from him, I don't know. I think this is like his swan story. I think Rose is definitely done with the Knicks. I think Iguodala, thank you. I appreciate you, my brother. That's right, Andre Iguodala. I think Rose is going to get his farewell tour next year. And I don't even know if he'll have a whole tour. He might just sign a 10-day contract with the Bulls and then retire. I really don't know because it seems like he's kind of resigned to retiring or like this being it for him, the way he was talking the last time I heard. So I don't know. It happened overnight, but it happens quickly. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but that's what's going on. It's interesting though. Let me see here. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get into a couple things, man. Yeah. What's up, King Ribby? Salute to you. Shout out. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Travel Vibes is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here as well. Good to see y'all. Danny Lander says, is there any point guards we can sign? Yeah, the people that was on that buyout list, they kind of got snatched up really quickly. And there wasn't really any good backup point guards that I think the Knicks can go after. That are still available, should I say? I mean, at least that give you what you want, because you want a guy who plays solid defense, right? and can also facilitate and maybe knock down some shots here and there. But they have to be able to break down the defense too and get to the rack. Because if you can't break down the defense, you can't draw the double team. You can't kick it out to get an open shot for your teammate. That's important. That is important. So that's what I want to look at and say who's out there like that. I don't know, Danny. I don't know, Ron Sarmiento. John Wall couldn't even keep it together with, like, come on, man. You see what the Clippers did, and John Wall couldn't even he couldn't even keep it together with the Clippers. Now, granted, it was at a very high pay rate. So maybe the investment was just not going to work for them, but still, like, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. I'll take a look, but last time I looked, I wasn't impressed with a lot of the names that I saw. So, I mean, really, you need a guy like a TJ McConnell type, and there's not many of those to go around. And the ones that are out there like that, those teams ain't giving them up because they're valuable. You need them unless you give them something that you don't want to. You know what I mean? You're going to wind up giving up something you really don't want to get a backup. It's tough. Danny says bring back Starberry. Yeah. Oh man. I didn't know that. Is he? Yeah, I'm not aware. I'm not sure. I didn't know that. That's interesting though, if that's the case. It stinks, but you know, it is what it is. It's life. So I mean, you guys already know. I'm sure you've seen over the past couple days, you know, other podcasts have talked about it. The Knicks shooting has been horrendous. And it's not for everybody. Brunson shot well when he played before he had to leave the game in Sacramento. There's been some good things to pull from some of these games. Grimes shot okay. He shot well. He shot well in the last game. Josh Hart was incredible in that Sacramento game. I mean, I don't even understand how he did that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to me to see a guy who's 6'4", be able to be that monstrous. You know what I mean? With regards to doing things on the court. He finished with 9 points, but 3 steals, 7 assists, 15 rebounds at 6'4". That's crazy. Crazy. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's that they're tired. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, with Julius, I could see that you can be streaky, like living by 3. He's been shooting a lot of threes, and we've seen Julius go through spells where he doesn't have it. Right? This is nothing new. It's just he was so good for that stretch of games that it's weird to see him struggle this badly from 3. And what's making it worse too is that now it's become a part of his game. So instead of him just saying, you know what, I'm going to chill and not take so many threes this game and just try to focus on something else, he's continuing to jack them up. And it's tough because part of you wants to say, stop shooting, Julius. But then the other part is, I don't know when it was. It was some games ago where Julius started off and he missed his first 4 or 5 threes. And then he hit 3 or 4 in a row. He finished with a good margin of accuracy for the game, but he kept shooting them. And so now that's kind of his mentality. I don't know. Problem is when you're not hitting, like this is the game. When you go 2 for 12 from 3 and you're not hitting them, that could be your game. When RJ Barrett goes 1 for 8 in the same game, that could be the game. Like, you know, I don't even know how the Knicks were able to have a chance to win this game in the end. They didn't, but they had a chance. I mean, they tied it, they hit some big shots at the very end, and they played some solid defense just to kind of hold Sacramento down so they couldn't keep scoring to give them a chance. But like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know. DJ Augustine. Yeah, he's usually the guy that everybody points to, but he just is not the same. You know what I mean? Like he used to be that guy. He's not that guy anymore. He's older. He just doesn't give you what he doesn't give you what the Knicks need right now. The Knicks need somebody with a little bit like you have to have some type of spark quality, right? You're coming off the bench and you're helping to replace a guy like Jalen Brunson. You need somebody that's got a little bit of something. And there's not a lot of guys out there like that. Um, hmm. Um, let me see here. You know what? Let me do this. I see Paris Duggar. I see you super chat. I'm gonna get right back to that. Let me right. What a good time right now to hit the intro. Why not? Let's do that, and we'll come right back, and we'll get into a couple more of your comments. We'll get into that super chat from Paris Duggar, and we'll go from there. We'll be right back after this, guys. Yes, yes, and we are back. Let's go. Um, yeah, it's just very interesting, guys. It's very interesting. I wish I had some better news. Like, I wish I could say that there's a fix that I know about, but honestly, I think the Knicks are going to play better today. I don't think Julius Randle is going to continue to shoot this bad from 3, and if he does, I think this will be the game. It's already been 2 games of this. I think Julius will say, "You know what? I'm not taking 12 threes. I'm not taking 8 threes. I'm going to take, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6, and if it's not falling, I'm gonna do something else." Because we need to get back to these winning ways and get back to playing better basketball again. Because you don't want this stuff to get out of hand quickly. You know how the Knicks are. They're the streakiest team in the NBA, guys. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody goes on streaks like the Knicks, whether it be winning streaks or losing streaks. We are streaky. So we need to calm down and get right. Let's get it together, folks, because it's getting a little crazy out here. A little crazy. Excuse me. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I wish I had an answer. I wish there was like a magic, like, oh, this is what we need to do, and this will fix everything. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Not right now. They just have to go out there and hopefully they had a chance to look at some game film, see what they were doing well over that 9-game win streak, and continue to do that. And then just go from there. And be smarter about it. Like I just get so mad when I see a 2 for 12 from Julius. I just think if you're shooting that bad, don't take 12 of them. 1 for 8 from RJ. I think if you're shooting that bad, don't take 8 of them. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. I know shooters got to shoot, but you know what I mean? Come on, y'all. These ain't, this is not the way you play basketball when you're struggling and you're trying to get a win. Like every possession counts. So at a certain point, even if they're giving you the wide open 3, unless it's the end of the game and you have to knock it down to tie the game or like time's running out, like you don't got to take the shot if they're giving it to you. Force your way into the paint or force your way into a better position where you're driving, and so they have to double team you, and so you can kick the ball to another player to get a better shot. That's fundamental basketball. That's X's and O's 101. I'm not saying anything too crazy. Something that's something that people know that they got to do. Like, just how it is. Just a thought. Just a thought. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the whole thing, man. But I'm a little concerned, a little bit, but I'm not too much. I mean, the Clippers are a tough matchup. Then you got the Lakers in a back to back. It's not good. It's not good. Lakers are a better team now to watch. They're putting out a better product. Uh, this ain't gonna be easy. This ain't gonna be easy. Um, Shout out to Parrish Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says, Coach Dummy buried D Rose and Fournier, and we need help. Yeah, it does. It Parrish. It just doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. Like it doesn't. I need someone to tell me why when you're struggling on the offensive end, you don't have Fournier out there to give some guys a spell and to maybe infuse a little something into the offense. The Derrick Rose stuff, I don't know at this point. Maybe they just, maybe something's not there anymore. I don't know. But and then we're signing Moses Brown. For what? Why? What are we doing with him? Explain. Can somebody help me? I know we got a roster spot and we need to, fill the but for what? I don't get it. I don't know why. What are we doing? Are we gonna play him? We don't even play Sims. Why? What are we doing here? Help me. Help me, guys. Help me to understand. Am I missing something? Because I don't see it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Parrish Duggar says, play-in coaching job with the 4th seed team now. Jeez. Randall won't shoot better because he doesn't know how to pick his spots when running the team. Sometimes struggles at that. That is true. Sherwin says, who do you want to shoot? I don't know. Maybe Grimes, the guy who gets maybe 4 or 5 touches a game. I think Grimes should get more touches. I think if listen, here's the thing. Emmanuel Quickley struggles sometimes at shooting, but Emmanuel Quickley is a better shooter than RJ Barrett. He's a better shooter than Julius Randle. All right. So when you got your big guys struggling and do other things, go inside, shoot a 2-point shot, a mid-range jumper, or try to break them down and get into the paint and pass it out to a guy like Quickley on the perimeter or to a guy like Grimes. I don't care how inconsistent sometimes Grimes looks to me. I know he's been more consistent than I thought, but he looks inconsistent sometimes. Maybe it's because when they give him an opportunity to shoot the big shot, he doesn't always knock it down. Maybe if he got more touches, he would. But I'd still much rather have Grimes shooting a 3 than watch RJ shoot the 3. I don't want to say that for Julius because Julius has been pretty good, but let's move the ball around. We got guys who can shoot the ball a little better than what our stars are doing, if you want to call them stars, or our key players are doing, should I say. And don't get me wrong, Julius is a star. I just don't want to call RJ a star, JJ, that's right. RJ is open for a reason. That's a fact. And you know what's really killing me about RJ? And I think at some point, you know what? Just throw it out the window, RJ. because I know it might have helped you get to this point, but this year has been a really bad year shooting for you. So someone should tell RJ, forget the follow through. Okay. Don't stay there holding your hand up. Shoot the shot and then go grab your rebound, because you watching your shot miss and then not going for the rebound. The other day, it was 2 games or 3 games ago. RJ shot a three from the corner and the rebound almost came right back to him. But since he was still doing this, he couldn't go get it. Now, luckily, I think Josh Hart grabbed it. But what are we doing here? This is ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't make no sense. Oh man, shout out to my guy Jiggaman Portal. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you as always. I was just talking about you, Phil, and Heck a little while ago, and the Knicks Morning Brew, or I forgot the name already. I'm just so used to saying the Knicks Morning Brew. The Morning Brew Sports. There you go. Appreciate y'all, man. Because really, it is the Knicks, the Morning Brew Sports. It's more than just Knicks Morning Brew, because you also do Yankees Morning Brew. So yeah, that's very true. Shout out to May 4th in the building. Salute, appreciate you. Salute. My guy Shot Powers is in the building. Salute, brother. Good to see you. The new Knicks City and Squad is in the building. Salute. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Staffer Don is in the building. What's good, Staffer? The Staffer's not happy about some of the takes. Parrish Duggar, thank you for the generous super chat. He said, did you see Josh Hart look at Red Rum Randall spaz? Red Rum's Randall. It's nice. Oh man. Sherwin says Moses Brown can do the same things as Mitch. From the bench on a clipboard, like, because when am I going to see Moses Brown on a Tom Thibodeau team in the basketball game? Like, when? I just, I'm not saying we won't see him, but Tibbs, I got to see it. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't keep picking up guys that might be able to help the team, and we never see them. Shout out to Dro Loves to Hate. Appreciate you. Grimes has better defense than RJ and Jay Hart. I'm going to say it's situational. I agree with certain matchups. Grimes is a better defender. His footwork and his speed, because Grimes has sneaky speed, is a better matchup for certain guys. We saw, like, an example with the Sacramento game. De'Aaron Fox was giving Josh Hart the business, but Grimes played better defense against him throughout the night. Sometimes that's going to happen. There's going to be times where Grimes goes up against somebody and he's getting the business, but Josh Hart plays that person better. It could be something simple as guys with faster speed are better matchups for Grimes, and guys who are bigger body and just more physical are better matchups for Josh Hart. It could be just as simple as that. May 4th said Sabonis was destroying Mitch. Yeah, Sabonis has these moments where listen, you guys remember the Sabonis Julius Randle matchups? They are very physical. They go at it. It looks like they're going to fight. That's how physical it's been. And Mitch don't really have that type of style to his game. He's not really the fighter, mix it up type. But that's why I really thought that Randall and Sabonis were going to have that matchup again, but it didn't really happen in this game. And for whatever reason, it looks like Sabonis will be catching Randall at a weird time, because this Randall, these past 2 games, hasn't looked like the regular Julius Randle. He got it together in the second half, but of the Sacramento game, but he just wasn't looking like himself. Is that how quickly confidence can be shaken? I don't know. Yes, agreed. Remember, we playing way, way better than early in the season. That's right, Shot Powers. That is true. Still, like I said, I'm not making a big deal about losing 2 games. I'm more concerned about the way the offense looked while we were losing the 2 games. But I'm not worried about it, man. We can lose 2 games. Let's get it back today. That's all I'm saying. We lost 2. Let's get it back. We'll be all right. We won 9 in a row for a reason. It's not easy to win 9 in a row. We beat Miami. We beat Boston twice. You know, it's not that easy to pull that off. People may try to downplay it because it's the Knicks, but it wasn't easy to do. And they did it. Willian is in the building. Salute, my brother. Good to see you. 19 Conman NYC is in the building. Salute. Good to see you, brother. D-Ras is in the building. Salute. What's good? 19 comment also said Jay Hart and Brunson will be passing the ball. It just we don't knock them down on a decent enough clip. It's true. Like, this is what I don't want us to lose track of either. The Knicks team is based on defense. That's our identity. The shooting that we were doing throughout this 9-game win streak, that's not really us, guys. We can't that's the problem I think that's happened. It's kind of not diluted. It's kind of changed the Knicks mindset as to their approach when it goes to playing this game. We're not a great shooting team. We were shooting fantastic in this 9-game win streak. That's not really our thing. Could we score? Yes. We could score over 107, 108, 109 points per game, whatever our average is. Yeah, we can score, but we find other ways to score. We're one of the teams that's higher, that score higher levels in the paint. Like, that's what we do. And then we shoot threes and knock them down when we can. But this 9-game win streak, we were knocking down threes at a high clip. And I think that's the problem. The team is kind of getting away from what they do good on offense for the most part. You stick with the defense that you play and then go back to some of the offense you were playing before that helped get you here. This 3-point shooting can sometimes be a mirage, man. It's not always there, especially when you're not dealing with guys who knock them down like that all the time. Like, they were just hot, and now we're not. D Coolest 718 is in the building. Salute. What's good, brother? Good to see you. And guys, as you come in, smash that like button if you can, man. Show your love for the show. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here as always. And for any newcomers, I said it earlier. Thank you guys for your support and everything with the GoFundMe stuff. Appreciate you for sharing and sending that out and contributing whatever you can. If you can't, sharing it. I just want to say that to everybody who may have joined that didn't hear it earlier. Thank you guys. Bottom of my heart. I appreciate y'all. We're halfway to our goal. We're getting there. Jason C is in the building. What's good, man? Bottom half defensive team, though. Well, remember, if you look at the Knicks season defense where we're at, right, is one thing. But if you look at the Knicks defense over this last, I don't know, let's say 12-game stretch. That's the 9-game win streak, and I just threw 3 more games in there, either 2 losses, whatever. Like, we're one of the top teams in defense, might be top 10 in the last. I think we were 9 or 10 during that streak. So we're playing better defense as a team. And remember, Josh Hart wasn't here prior to the trade deadline, so we're not the same team defensively. We're definitely not. But the problem is when the offense isn't going good, it affects the mental, affects the confidence, and then it affects the rest of your game. So that's why we got to keep even keeled. We got to keep everything focused and straight and not get too caught up in the 3-point shooting, all that. Just find ways to get baskets, score. And with Brunson not being here, it's even more imperative that we get into the paint, get easy looks, backdoor cuts, pick and rolls, screen off of each other. We got to do these things to get good, easy looks at scoring opportunities, just to keep putting up points on the board. When teams challenge us, when they threaten us, we have to keep scoring. They're going to go on runs. We have to keep scoring. We may not be able to stop them all the time, but you have to continue to chip away. And you can't do that by shooting threes all the time, because you miss those threes, the lead just balloons. It's too much. It's too much. Yeah. Let me see here. Hmm. I agree with that, Dro. Jericho should be playing. I understand he has limitations offensively, but you have to help these guys with their confidence. Sometimes their confidence needs that boost. You know what I mean? You got to play these guys and give them that love that they're part of this team too. Got to do it. Got to do it. I just saw somebody. I don't know. I lost it. It's okay. I mean, the coolest, really. We could have won that Sacramento game. We could, and we definitely should have won that Charlotte game. So we should still be streaking in the positive way right now. I hear you, Ricardo. We need some long 3-point threats there, guys who knock them down from all over. And if they have to be of a lighter persuasion, by all means, it does whatever works. It doesn't matter. Yeah, man. It's sheesh. It's just tough sometimes. But like I said, guys, all I hope is that the Knicks continue to play good basketball. We get 40 plus wins, get into the playoffs, at least the fifth seed, and get out of the first round. And I'll be happy. I know some Knicks fans may not be happy with that because y'all want your team to go all the way. Y'all want to, reap the benefits of a championship, all that stuff. You guys know we're not there yet. But if we can win a first round, that's something. I mean, when is the last time the Knicks won a first round in the playoff series? You know what I mean? Like that would be huge. And that would show a progression. And then we know what we got. And then we can go into next year like, okay, we know what we got. Now, what do we need? That's what I'm talking about. We got to build this the right way. Let's keep going. Cam Johnson or Oubre? Hmm. It's only the only problem with Oubre is the money. Because I think Oubre has played himself into money. I don't know if he's a free agent or anything like that. That's the only thing I don't know. I don't know enough about him. Cam Johnson is still on his rookie contract, I think. So it is what it is. But yeah, Cam Johnson would be nice. And that shout out to D Coolest for saying that. Um, yeah, Sha, have you guys noticed how free throws have reared their ugly head? We were shooting free throws well all season. We shot in the mid 70s in the beginning of the season. Then we got to the high 70s and we maintained that for a minute. And we even got to 80 at a point. And then we dropped down and we stood somewhere in the mid 70s. And now look at how poorly we're shooting from the free throw line. What is going on? What's going on? What's the issue with the concentration when it comes to being at the line? Is that fatigue? Because fatigue affects concentration. What are we doing? Why are we struggling here with our free throw shooting? Like what's happening? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. This to me is just it's bananas. Uh, oh boy. Shah says if we hit free shots and free throws, we wouldn't even be talking about it. Yeah, it's true. May 4th says we can actually get faster over the next couple years. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, then goes back to Paris Stugger says tired legs means missed shots. Uh rest your guys up more. Ah, could be it. Okay, Cam Johnson is a restricted free agent this summer. Joe Ingles or a trade with the Pistons for Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich's price tag is kind of high. Now he gives us what we need offensively. He gives it to us. Like a guy who's 6'9", 6'10", can hit his shot over anybody. He's a good shooter. that will definitely benefit this Knicks team. Defensively, he's a liability, though. He is, turnstile waiting to happen, yo. Whole Foods. Next up, please. Number 19. But he knocks it down, though. He knocks it down. So but just his price tag is kind of high for a guy who don't play defense. I don't know. I guess it all depends. It all really depends on what you willing to put up with and deal with on your team. You know, I don't know. We got to see. We got to see. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Okay. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. What is it? Manchild's in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Good to see you as always. This internet connection, man. Look at it. Spotty. It's annoying. I think I covered what I was saying. Yeah, I like Joe Ingles. He is tough, man. I just don't know. Like, it depends on what it would cost to get a Joe Ingles, because he he's crafty. He's crafty. It depends. But another lefty too. Oof. But anyway, that's okay. Doesn't matter. If he could play basketball, he can play basketball. It would depend on how much it costs to get him. And the other thing is, guys, as much as I want to say, like, offensively, we're struggling, right? But we're not struggling really as a team, because this is what I was thinking about, Manchild. I was ready to say, like, it's team wide. It's not, because I looked at the box score of these last couple games. Quickly struggling, RJ struggling, Julius is struggling, but the other guys were shooting at a regular clip. They weren't struggling. They were just shooting at their regular clip. Brunson, even though he played limited minutes or whatever it was in the Sacramento game, he shot pretty well from the field. So it's not everybody. It's just that, those three guys are big parts of our offense. So that's an issue. Ride till the wheels fall off. Wow. Whew, damn. Joe Ingles will be 36 next season. Oh man, I didn't know that. He does look a little older, a little long in the tooth. Maybe he's not the answer. Maybe not. Sheesh. Wow, I didn't know it was like that. I mean, we'll see. Like, and the other thing is, guys, remember, just as the Knicks were playing really well, we know Sacramento's been very hot. I mean, they're number 2 in the West. They got a young squad for the most part too, and they got a lot of energy, and they had everybody. They got infused with the good news of having De'Aaron Fox come back. Now, if De'Aaron Fox didn't play in that game, maybe the Knicks would have won. But De'Aaron Fox gave them a boost. That's having one of their top guys come back in the game, and it showed. And he was a nightmare for the Knicks to kind of defend. So, yeah, it is what it is. Timing sometimes works. And this goes back to the whole thing. Like, how people always say when the Knicks beat these teams, guys from the teams are out. Well, look at this. In this game, Brunson was out. He came back, right? And then he actually had to leave. But Sacramento got a guy back in De'Aaron Fox that they didn't have before, and he played well for them. And so the Knicks were at a disadvantage. It happens. That's how life is. That's sports. Um, so you just gotta basically take it for what it is and understand that these things are gonna happen. You just got to continue to play basketball. I like what Josh Hart said about being tired and fatigued, and people get up early in the morning to work 12-hour shifts. That's being tired. But I also like his mentality in general. Josh Hart speaks to it because he understands, like, no matter what, you got to go out there and play. You're getting paid to play a game that you love, basketball. Yes, can they be tired? Yeah. They do a lot of traveling, jet lag, all this stuff, back-to-back games, flying from one city to another city, or whatever can happen. Uh, Going to a double overtime game against Boston. And let me tell you, that game against Boston, it wasn't the fact that it was just a double overtime game. They played hard against Boston, and Boston was banging, as far as the bodies going. There was not like no light finesse type game. So that game is going to drain you. Plus, it was huge emotionally for the Knicks to beat Boston without Brunson, knowing that Boston was trying to do everything to win that game. So that took a lot out of this Knick team. Look, I'm not trying to make excuses, but just being real, that game took a lot out of these Knicks. They were really emotionally drained. Guys played more minutes than they've ever played in their life, and they won the game. They put it all out there on the court. So as much as they got to go into the next game, like, it doesn't matter, it drained them. So, but at this point, now we can no longer use that excuse because we're past that point now. Now they got to get it right. They got to get back. Get back. Let's go. What we're gonna do here? Let's get it together, folks. How can we get back to what we need to be, where we need to be out there? Um, we'll see. Because I'll be honest, man. I'm a little bit worried. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit worried that you know the Knicks could lose these next two games. Not that they will. They could. That's the difference. I'm not saying they will, guys. They could. And then that would be like a sour taste. That's a 4-game losing streak. You want to avoid that. Boy, it's I don't know, man. It's so many things. So many things. Man, I just hope they can get it right. Let me see. Um yeah, Shaw Power said Brunson went down mid game. That took a lot out of us. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, travel vibes. Brunson is hurt again. Yes, he aggravated the foot injury that he was you know, held out for before, and he kind of aggravated it again in the second Sacramento Kings game. Okay. Anything else you want, bro? Yeah, I'm with you. 19 com man. Yes, sir. Yeah, I would love that. I don't know how we would get that, but I would love that. Now, if there was a way that the Knicks could trade a player for these guys or one of these guys when they're drafted, um, like, I would trade Obi Toppin for Chris Murray or something like that. Now, I don't know if whoever drafts Chris Murray would be like, "Oh, we'll take Obi Toppin for Chris." I don't know about that, but I'm telling you, I would do it if it's available to me. I think that's something the Knicks have to do. The Knicks have to figure out, like, is there a player that they really want? Is there a couple players they really want in this draft? And are we willing to trade our players and maybe a future pick in order to get said players? Because we can't necessarily make sure that we'll be able to draft those players ourselves, depending on where we get our pick. I think that would be what I would look to do if you could do it. And it's not easy to pull off. Like, you don't see a lot of those type of trades in the NBA draft. Um, yeah, I know, man, child. That's what I'm saying. Like, These next two games are not going to be easy. They're not going to be easy. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Man, we are definitely, if there was a time for this to happen, it would be this draft. I would say I agree with you there. Let's see if we can make it happen. But I am not sold on the Knicks pulling it off. And definitely, I'm not. The front office does things their own way. I don't know if they've got what it takes to make it happen either. It'd be nice. Let me see. I feel like there's something I was gonna. Oh yeah, there you go. Now I know what I was gonna say. Uh Guys, Marlon Khan is in the building. Salute, appreciate you. It's still kind of working the same way, brother. I haven't been able to get an appointment to get these guys out to do the rewiring. And you are the gentleman that I was thinking of. I mentioned you last week. I said, you know what? Someone told me I need to get somebody out and have them do the, rewire everything. And I couldn't remember the name. And here you are. What's up, Marlon? I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, no, but I am definitely trying to get that done. I think that's what's gonna. It might help because maybe there's some degradation in my wires. Maybe there's wear and tear over time, loss of stuff has happened. Uh, Wires get stepped on. Rains on. All types of stuff happens. So I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. We'll see if I can get an appointment narrowed down. I should be able to get one this week. Last week I couldn't do it. Embiid and Trey Young will probably ask for trades this summer. It's an interesting take. The coolest. You think so? I mean, let me tell you, it would take a lot to get either one of these guys. And after doing it, I don't know if we would have enough to do anything. Like, that's the thing. That's the crazy part about getting these superstar type players. Like, what are you left with? And do the teams want what you have to offer? Because I could see a big player in trades for those type of guys. Well, not Trey, but would be like Dallas, Mark Cuban. Although I don't know how much Mark Cuban has to offer at this point, but he would definitely be kicking the tires to see what's going on to try to get Joel Embiid. Okay, Marlon says rewire and new splitters and also an amplifier will give you a better connection. Appreciate you, my brother. I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna tell him. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing. Like, I don't know. Uh, okay. You're not big on the Trey Young. I got you. I got you. Yeah, he's funky too, though, because Trey has been, a- as much as we want to say how good he is, this has been the worst season for Trey Young by far. Like, I don't know. It's been kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know if he still wants to be traded now that the coach is gone, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Because it's definitely interesting. He's the type of guy that I think you can build a winning product around him, but you just have to come up with a like they had a Atlanta tried to make it Golden State East, and as we could see in the end, it didn't really work out, and then they're since trying to move away from it. Now, I don't know if they're done with the concept. maybe they want to go back now that um, Coach McMillan is gone. Maybe that's what they think is missing. The fact that they kind of strayed away from that a little bit. I don't know. We will see. It's that's one of those things that's definitely gonna have to give it time because I don't know what to expect from you know that team going forward. But whatever, that's Atlanta. Worried about these Knicks. Worried about these Knicks. Um, so speaking of being worried about teams and stuff, and let me see if I can get this right. If it works. Oh man. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, that's it. I'll put that puppy right there. All right, guys. I think it's about this time. I haven't done this in a little bit, and I try to do it. Um, Now, bear with me. I have a couple things to say about this. Um, how's that? Looks okay. This is not perfect. I didn't put as much time into it as I usually do to try to make sure everything is symmetric and stuff. You guys will see what I'm talking about in a minute. Um, all right, let's get that. Download this real quick. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. This New York Knick community is, to me, I still consider it fantastic. Now, I'm not naive, and I don't think like with everything in life. You guys know that there's hierarchies, right? There's levels to everything. No matter what job, no matter what role, no matter what company, there's levels of people in positions, right? And statuses. And then, some of the people that get to the highest levels, they're very competitive. Um, they have certain things about them. Doesn't make them bad people, just means that they're a certain way and they think a certain way. That's in life with everything. Just like in our Nick community, we've got levels. We've got people who have been here for many years doing this. They got newcomers. Everybody has their own lane. They have their own thing, and they're successful in their own ways. Uh, and that doesn't necessarily mean monetary. It just means like with fan bases and supporters. And I know that nobody's perfect. And as much as I love this Nick community, I know that there may be some people out there that may not love me or love still Nick fans. And I'm not saying that there's reasons behind it. I'm just saying like people, we're content creators and you know, there's got to be some level of competition there too. I don't necessarily have that, you know. I want everybody to eat. I want everybody to be good. I want everybody to have success and do great things. And, you know, as much as I'm saying this, like I said, I understand everybody may not feel the same way. I know there's people who may talk about me or my platform behind my back. Um, but I don't care because no matter what people may think or may feel, I know how I feel and think about the people in the community that I've been around and have showed me respect. So whether or not the respect is fleeting, if it's something different behind closed doors, I don't know. I can't account for that because I'm not supposed to know. It's behind closed doors. But from what I see on the surface, I go by that. And because of that, I like to say it's time to support the Knicks community and the content creators. All right. Um, and this is a list of some, maybe newer content creators or maybe just content creators that I haven't acknowledged in the past. Um, that I think everybody in the community, the fan base, should, definitely support. And they may not, it may not necessarily mean you're doing basketball either, but I'm just throwing this out there. First off, Terry and Trey, man. Who doesn't love Terry and Trey? If you know Nick content, you know Terry and Trey, the son, the son and mother duo. I mean, when I first started watching them, I thought they were brother. Actually, honestly, when I first started watching them, I thought they were husband and wife. Then later, the way they were talking, I was like, okay, maybe they're not husband and wife. I was like, maybe they're brother and sister. Then come to find out they're mother and son. Who knew? I'm like, oh man. And I love Terry and Trey. So I'm really happy to see them back. It's good that they're have come back and have taken some time to start recording and doing podcast again because I missed them. I like their talking about the Knicks and I like their camaraderie that they have. It's nice to watch. So shout out to Terry and Trey. Definitely salute to them. Shout out to Delusional Knicks fan. Appreciate you and your content. Give him some support, man. He's a really good dude. Um, he'll sometimes jump on Knicks and Bruises with Tony Crow. And he'll be other places too. But definitely shout out to him. Shout out to one of my favorite places to go for New York Giant content. That's Fireside Giants, man. I definitely love watching their content. Want to give them a special shout out. They'll never see this because they do so much Giant stuff and they don't really get into Nick stuff, but you guys will know, and that's all that matters. So you go support them and show them some love. Shout out to my guy Knicks fan Brazil Victor in the building. You know, can't say enough about how impactful his show is, all the special guests he gets, trying to bring the Knicks to the forefront in Brazil, which is not easy, man. That's a tough task, and I appreciate him for continuing to do that and shine a light on the this Nick product that we have out there in Brazil. So I think I'm gonna say I do think he's done a lot to help further the Knicks reach in Brazil more than other people. I tell you that. So shout out to him, man. Appreciate you, Victor. Oh man, this guy riding with the Knicks, should I say? Now, special shout out to him. I know I haven't seen him on do his show recently in recent times. I don't know what's going on. I hope everything's good for him. But personally, I think that he was trying to do something special. His shows were definitely unique in the fact that he would do them from his car, whether it be his commute to work or his commute coming home. He's out there in Cleveland, Ohio, guys, and a Knicks fan repping the Knicks and talking about the Knicks, man. So definitely support him. I hope whatever's going on, he's still doing the show and comes back. But he's a good guy. Die Hard Giants. Come on, man. Come on, brothers. Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. I gotta support, one of our own. Um, and Die Hard Giants is a fairly new show that was just started this year. I don't even know if it starts throughout is it the whole watch game or is it only does he start at halftime, kind of like Eru? I don't know. That's I'm curious about that. I'm not sure. I should have kind of asked him that before. If I would big him up, I might as well know what's going on with that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, regardless, still great. Uh, and I appreciate everything he has to offer, and you know, I don't know how to say it without sounding like a homer, but I just feel like some of the people in our community are really gifted and talented, and Jarrell is one of those people that is right there with everybody else. He has great takes. He's very knowledgeable about different sports, and I love to support and champion whatever he's got going on. So keep doing your thing, Jarrell. Then we get to the Knicks morning sports. I mean, man, I said that wrong again. I know I'm not saying it right, but anyway, it's Yankees morning brew. But I'm trying to say what. Why do I always forget the best way to say this? Uh, Morning brew sports, was that it? Sorry, guys, I forget, man. My memory sucks. I'm trying to cheat. I'm trying to cheat. I can't cheat. It's got to go all the way up into the chat. The Morning Brew Sports. Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah, man. So this is a part of the Morning Brew Sports right here. This is Yankees Morning Brew. My guy Hector. Shout out to him. Thank you for all you do, brother, bringing us this Yankee talk as well as other sport teams talk. You talk about everybody. I know it's focused on the Yankees, but he will talk about other teams. Shout out to him. Great job. Good special guest. Really fun special guest. Sometimes, like you're like, whoa, I didn't think he'd be there. And you're like, oh yeah, and he's a Yankee fan. Who knew? Um, so definitely shout out to him. And then we got the Knicks Morning Brew, another part of Morning Brew Sports, with my guys Phil Jiggerman Porto and Hector talking that Knicks talk. Same thing, same great guest, same great talk, man. So shout out to him. Then we got another newcomer to the realm is the Organic Fanatics show, the Organic Fanatics show. I think I said that right. Shout out to these guys. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Miguel and to my guy Revel Castle King. Salute to you guys. I'm still getting familiar with y'all, but I definitely like the product. I like listening to y'all chop it up and talk about our Knicks. So that's been pretty great. Oh man, OUA Knicks podcast. Y'all know. Y'all know, man. Y'all know. I don't gotta say it. Y'all know. You know, come on, man. Come on. Shout out to him, and hopefully he's doing all right. I haven't talked to him in a minute. Shout out to Tone Wu. Appreciate you, my brother, and your channel and your podcast. Hopefully you're doing well. Shout out to the Smoking Nick, all the way from Sacramento, and his podcast has been doing big things, talking his thing, talking his stuff the way he likes to. Y'all know how he gives it up. Appreciate him, and also shout out to my guy Trippy, the Nixon 30 podcast. He's been growing and trying to add different elements, adding people to the show. He's got more guys over there now. Doing really good things, man. I appreciate all, and he also works in the garden now. His primary job outside of the podcasting. So salute to him, man. Hope you're doing all right, brother. And represent all these guys, man. All right, so let me get this off of the L screen. Oh, yeah. So I just want to show some love to these guys because I appreciate the community for everything it is. And I know it's not easy to do this stuff, without, all the time and effort it takes to show people love. It doesn't take me that much time to do this. So I want to, definitely big up everybody and show them some love. Glamour Nix is in the building. Salute. I hope you're doing all right. Good to see you. Um, okay. I think Ricardo says, I think Milwaukee is the prototype for us. We just don't have Giannis, but we have very similar pieces except for him. That may be true. Marlon Khan says, I'm starting to get worried as Miami and Brooklyn closing the gap, and potentially we can drop the next 3 or 4 games. I know. That's why they have to right the ship, brother. They got to right the ship before things get out of control. I agree with you. So let me do a little bit more of this. And then we'll get into the game preview for today's game versus the Clippers. Today's game is at 4:00, guys. So it's coming right around the corner, man. Stay tuned. So, guys, I just, kind of talked about some people that are newer to the Nick community and also just, YouTube channels in general that I think you guys should check out and look for with some really good content. But we got another level too. Let's not forget these guys. You know what I mean? Let's not forget these guys. Shout out to the Nick of Time show, guys. My guy Jay Ellis, Ryan, and Lee putting out really good product. And shout out to Jay Ellis. He was featured on SNY the other day, breaking down his takes and thoughts about what the Knicks can do to beat Boston. And they did a lot of that. It helped them beat Boston. So shout out to you, Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis deserves all the flowers, man. He's been one of the pioneers, one of the OGs doing this stuff from the beginning. He's, his show definitely deserves more likes, more subscribers, without a doubt, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to Uncle Freezy and the Blorange Tears Network. Salute to him and his network of different content he puts out there, whether it be old school Knicks with Anthony D, or what do you call that? Damn it, why do I always forget the name of that? The other Knicks show he's got on Blorange Tears with my guy GI. Shoot, I forgot the name of it. Whatever. I don't remember all these names, guys. I'm older. And also Nick After Party and Nick's. He's got Nick at Night. He's got all these type of different things he's got going on. New school, old school. He's got all this stuff, man. Vibes and things, like so many different things, man. Shout out to Uncle Freezy and Blorange Tears. Appreciate you. And also, listen, Nothing But Knicks, my guy, the Podfather, Simeon Russell. You guys know everything that he's produced and you've seen, whether it be his interaction with Tony Crow and everything they've got going on, the front stoop, all that stuff. Queen's Court with Steph, the controversy with Josh, Andy's show, the International Andy, whatever he's got dropping. Post games, pre games, shoot arounds, all the stuff, the content you get from Nothing But Knicks. Shout out to him. And just, definitely I appreciate as I talked about, the community is big. There's a lot of people out there. Everybody may not get along, or there might be some things that you think are happening that are that you thought were one way and they're not. But for the most part, I think everybody's really cool and we have a really good relationship. And I love the people at Nothing But Knicks, man. I'm so happy that I met them and I'm part of that community with them. So streets is buzzing with my guy CT. Appreciate you, my brother. Continuing to do your things. Love your backgrounds. Love how you set up the shows. Great interviews. And it's really fun to watch what you're doing. Knicks and Bruises with my guy Tony Crow. Appreciate you, my brother, always. Sports Vibes TV, another one that's been doing it and having really good success with Stephen Fox and Keese. Shout out to Keese for really, putting together a good product over there and continue to do what he's doing. The Entertainer Talking Sports with my guy Chris. What's going on, brother? I appreciate you as always. Really good show. For the Love of the Game, Hard Will Worldwide L. That's right. Number 4, OUR, Love of the Game. If you haven't seen their show, I don't know what you're waiting for. Die Hard Knicks with my guy Eru. Appreciate him. Definitely good show. And he's continuing to make things fun. Eru does a good show, man. I really appreciate what he does. He tries to make it entertaining, and he does the watch along stuff at halftime. Really fun. He's got giveaways and different things. Shout out to Eru, man. Continue to do your thing, brother. Guard Up Knicks with the dudes, Apollo, Andre, Rick the Ruler. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for always doing what you do. Shout out to them. Knicks Real Talk with my guys Divine and Sha Money. And sometimes KJW whenever he can make it. Yeah, man, great show. Very positive outlook on Knicks talk and everything Knicks, man. Just life in general. These are some positive brothers, really good brothers to have around and have in your life, man. So if you want to watch some good Knick talk and feel good about your team, go watch Knicks Real Talk, man, for real. Legion of Knicks with my guy Guillermo. Good to see him, as always, doing what he does, because not only does he give you his weeklies and stuff, he does his watch alongs, and gives you how he gives it to you. You got to take it for what it is, man. Guillermo don't pull no punches. D's World of Hoops. up and coming and growing fast, almost at 800 subscribers. I feel like it was only a month or two ago where he was at like 300, 400, 5. Like he's growing so fast with the content he's doing, with the the statistical breakdowns, the video breakdowns, and also the YouTube shorts that he's been doing. Great job. Really fantastic stuff that he's doing over there. Appreciate him and shout out to him. And also listen, can't, fail to mention how much he's helped the Know the Ledge show on Saturdays and still Nick fans in general. So he's definitely helped us get to where we're at as well. Clutch BBall TV with my guy Noah. Salute to him. Appreciate you, my brother. Noah puts out really good content now. It's a little tougher with Noah because Noah's a college student and he's really trying to do his thing and become something in life. Good for you, Noah. But when he does put out content, it's really great to see, man. Shout out to BX Sports Jedi Kev. Kev does everything on his channel. He does wrestling, he does Knicks, he does he do baseball? I don't know. He does MMA, he does boxing. I mean, he does hockey. Like Kev does everything on that channel. Shout out to him and building his own network over there. Salute to you, Kev. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, and look who we got here. And shout out to you in the chat. I see you. Dope Soul Sports Talk with the Queen, aka Steph, aka the Queen, STEPH in command. I can never get that right. It's so easy to say Latifa, but I cannot spell out Steph. What's going on? Anyway, shout out to the Queen stuff, man. You guys know how she gives it up for the Nick community, doing the Queen's Court, being on all those shows with Nothing But Knicks, and then launching her own Dope Soul Sports Network. And she's been doing great. Fantastic job at putting out content, giving you a lot of content. So definitely salute to her. If you haven't seen her show, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out. Then we got Knicks Film School. Listen, this is another one of the shows that people have as a go-to with regards to Nick stuff because it comes at you from a different angle. And they've got the capologist guys over there, and it's really, really cool show, man. I can't say enough about it. Jonathan Macri has done a really good job of building what they got going on there, from the newsletter stuff, from the show itself, and just everything that they've put into their network. So good job to Jonathan Macri and the gang over there. Keep doing great work. And last but not least, my guy Raw from Raw Hebrew, his YouTube channel, giving you the good word as well as breaking down stuff going on with these New York Knicks. The diversity across the board, from the shows that I mentioned on the Orange tab with the newest shows that are coming and then the football stuff and all that, and then the diversity that you have just right here looking at what we got going on at this mix. It's incredible. This Nick community and the sports community in general is just fantastic. Yeah, man. So I really appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for supporting all these shows. Like, comment, subscribe, give them all love, man. They all deserve it. And we'll just keep this Nick thing going. Our community is strong. All right. So sorry, guys. I know you guys wanted to talk a lot of Nick stuff, and I appreciate you for being here with me. But I felt like this is the time to do that. I haven't done it in a minute. And I also want you guys to kind of, like the newcomers out there that may not know, to know this community is full of great shows, great content creators. So definitely support all of them. Yeah, I think that's, yeah. Did I say what's up? Yeah, Hard Will's in the building. Salute. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here as always. Manchild says the Toxic Boys are cool. Also, I have not watched this show, but I am aware. I see them on Twitter. I've been in the Twitter spaces. I haven't seen the actual Toxic Boys show though. Francisco Carrillo is in the building. Greetings to all. Salute. Thank you, Glamour Knicks. Appreciate you. Yeah, well, I try to do it because, like I said, a lot of stuff goes on in the community, stuff that's good, stuff that's bad, but I'm not going to change up. I am who I am, so I'm going to do things the way I do things. And I give people love and show props to everybody because I just think that's who I want to be. That's what I would want to receive in return. So I put that out there. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I said what's up to everybody like that. So let's get into this, guys. Let's do our little, how I like to do the little game preview thing. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's pull this puppy up. I'll throw the invite out there now because I wanted to get all this stuff out. And so, I didn't want to affect other people speaking. If somebody wants to come on while I'm doing the preview, by all means. But yeah, I just wanted to get all this stuff out. Didn't want to have too long of a show today because I know the Knicks play at 4. There might be some other pre-games that come on from 2 to 4, and I want them to be able to have their time. So here we go. Hey, my guy G.
Bacon. What's going on?
Good? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good in the hood. You, Ron?
I can't complain, man. It's another day, and I'm just living life. I'm trying my best, man, throughout it all.
Nice.
Trevor Vibe says, yeah, I didn't shout out SKF. You right, man, because if you hear you already watching, you know what it is. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, subscribe to all the channels. I'm sorry, Ron. Subscribe to all the Knicks channels and subscribe to my show, The Last Laugh Podcast.
Oh, that's Gideon. That's right. The Last Laugh Podcast. Yes, man, brother. I gotta get a thumbnail thing for your thing. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
I'm glad. I'm happy to see that.
The Academy. Thank you.
I love it. Yeah, man. So first off, before I get into the preview, how are you feeling right now about the current state of the Knicks? We won 9 in a row. We lost 2 in a row. Are you thinking that the world is coming to an end, or how do you feel?
Nah, the world's not coming to an end. Even though I am a little bit concerned, the world is not coming to an end because I will give the Knicks credit. After being down, the Hornets loss was a stupid loss. That was a terrible loss against the Hornets. I mean, missed free throws, turnovers, jacking them threes. That was a terrible loss to the Hornets. Not getting back to transition defense, not doing a good job stopping the ball. That was a bad loss. The Kings loss, I can understand that loss. Yes, the turnovers and the bad shots cost us the game, but New York did hang around because we did host Sacramento 7 fast break points, so we hold them to a half-court game. It's just that the Kings just had too many weapons, though, like Malik Monk in the first half, Trey Lyles in the second half, De'Aaron Fox. Man, the ferocious Fox was hot in the fourth quarter, though. Sabonis was huge on playmaking, scoring the block. Even Keegan Murray had his moment. So I thought we did a good job competing. Yeah, the turnovers killed us and the missed threes, 13 to 50 from downtown out cost us the game. And I thought we could have just gone more into the block. But we did help us in against our offensive rebound, especially Hart, RJ at times. But we were killing the Kings on the glass to get second chance opportunities. Just we did not capitalize. But I'm not too concerned about that. The only thing we'll be concerned is if we can just go on this road trip either 2-2 or even 3-1. I don't want to come back 1-3 or 0-4 because the Heat are still hanging around. 3 games is nothing for Miami. They're still hanging around though. And the Nets, people thought the Nets were just gonna just ride off into the sunset, but they're still like that little, they're still like that gum in your head. They're only like a half game behind New York. So I'm just in the in between. I'm not the end of the world, but I'm in the in between. You know what I mean, Ron?
I get you. Yeah, I mean, and look, I think that's kind of one of those things. Like right now, we're gonna feel a certain way. It's one thing if your team loses a game, and they played hard, but it's another thing when you see something that struggling offensively the way they did, you get a little concerned. So
Right.
it is what it is. It is what it is. But I don't think it's the end of the road. I think we're
Yeah.
okay. We just got to right the ship. We still got time. There's still time. There's still time, guys. We're
It's
good.
14
We're
more
good.
games to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So just looking at this this game preview, you guys know how I like to look at the comparison for teams so far, even though some of this could be skewed because this is for the season, and so things could have happened in the first part of the season that are not happening right now. Like things could be worse or things could be better, but this is the overall picture. So on the season, the Knicks are averaging 115.3 points per game, even more than I thought. So that hot streak really inflated those numbers. The Clippers are averaging 112.6. Rebounds, Knicks are averaging 46.9. Clippers are averaging 43.4. Assists, Knicks are averaging 22.4. The Clippers are averaging 23.2. Steals, the Knicks are averaging 6.1, 6.9 for the Clippers, 3.9 blocks for the Knicks, 4.5 for the Clippers, 12 turnovers for the Knicks, 13.7 for the Clippers, 46.5 for the Knicks from the field goal percentage, and 47.2 for the Clippers, 35% from three, and 37.7 from three for the Clippers. That's a healthy 37.7. That's not bad for a team. Free throw percentage 76.4 to 78.5. And I gotta tell you that if we looked at over the last 5 to 10 games, that Nick free throw percentage might look a lot worse. So
Yeah, definitely
it's
gotta
been
use
pretty bad.
context. True.
Yeah,
True.
it's been pretty bad.
Right, and people need to use context. Though I'm not saying you are wrong, but I'm sorry about people. People just look at numbers. We gotta use the eye test sometimes. You gotta watch the full game to know what's going on. Don't just look at the stats.
True. And that's why I say like this is interesting to see, but you also got to look at like what's different in the current time. You know what I mean? Because this is for the whole season. Things could change.
Yeah.
Like the Clippers team is not the same Clipper team from earlier in the year. This Knick team is not the same Knick team from earlier in the year. So you got to look at it that way. Points in the paint. Knicks are averaging 51.5. The Clippers are averaging 44.2. Second chance points. The Knicks are averaging 16.8. The Clippers are averaging 11.5. Fast break points, 11.8 for the Knicks and 12.5 for the Clippers. Now, when you look at these numbers, like I said, this is why you have to play the game. Because when you look at all these numbers, you might say the Knicks, they have the edge to win this game on paper from these numbers. These numbers won't mean a lot because there's more context in regards to it. I just like to look at it because it just shows you how the teams stack up overall from the season.
Right. And also the points in the paint. I know the Clippers, like I said, average. I know the Clippers average 44 points in the paint, but the last few games, they average 55 points in the paint. Because now you see them driving more into the hole. Like you watch against the Grizz and the Raps, you saw they were killing Siakam, killing Jaren Jackson, the hole on dribble drives, baseline cuts though. So we gotta use some sort of context to that. So if New York wants to win this game, you got to be physical with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Get the board over Terrence Mann because his damage is really more the corner three and athleticism to Russell Westbrook. Hold him to a half-court game. That's my case right there.
Yeah, I agree. And Craig is killing IQ. Time to give IQ the supermax. Look,
let's wait to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, he's being sarcastic when he says it. I'm saying just like you don't necessarily feel like what you saw from the last two games means that doesn't mean IQ is a bum all of a sudden. It just means IQ struggled and had a couple games. But it also, yeah, he's still a good player. He still plays good defense. But this is something that you have to keep note of, and IQ has to keep note of, like with his game. Like, why is this happening? What happened these last couple games? That I'm doing differently from what I was doing before. He's got to pay attention to that stuff. But he's still a really good player who has shown really good improvements. So we can't take that away from him. So does that mean these two games are more impressive than the 9 games he played during the win streak? So you're saying 2 is better than 9? I don't think so. But I also understand that That doesn't, that doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't mean he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Right. Still has a lot to prove. Huh? I mean, he has shown a lot of IQ, no pun intended, as of late, shown much with basketball IQ. My only thing with Quigley, he started off slow because I thought he was forcing the issue. Then during that 9-game stretch, he was going to the lane, spinning around in the baseline, the nail, also finishing right at the rack. His free, he's always been a good free throw shooter. He's doing other things. He's always been a good perimeter defender, though, especially staying on this man, getting to the passing lane. The last 2 games, I felt he settled way too much for the long-range bomb. He doesn't need to do that. You gotta get yourself to the lane. You get yourself to the free throw line, or utilize the quick step, the floater game, like if you're IQ though.
I mean that's fair. I agree. Like you got to understand that one of the things. Man, I forgot who said it. Somebody said it when we played after the Boston game. Something about how teams were. How Boston was not prepared for Emmanuel Quickly. Because a lot of teams, I think, are not prepared for Emmanuel Quickly because what you saw in that game is not something you normally see from him, and he was his role got elevated because of the fact that Brunson was out, and so then as a team when you're game planning now you say, oh wow, these Knicks are really using Quickly's really doing. So now we got to start preparing for him, and that's another thing with these other teams. Like now you got to look, okay, how do we deal with Quickly, and he has to adjust to that.
You got to hold Quickly to a half-court game. That's how you deal with Quickly. To slow down, you got to either trap the guy or hold him to a half-court game.
I agree with that. And I think the Knicks will be fine, man. I don't. What I saw in that 9-game win streak is not a mirage. That to me is real. It just is that. There's ups and downs. I mean, look, Milwaukee. How many games did Milwaukee win in a row?
16.
That's ridiculous. Like, these things happen. Then they lost, and guess what? Now they're back to winning again.
Now they're starting to turn around the ship again. Yep.
Yeah, you just gotta go through it. Go through it. That's all. That's what the good teams do, and I think the Knicks are a good team. They just have to learn to play that way consistently. Like what they were doing how they played against Boston, how they played against Miami. I was really excited about what I saw. I felt like this team gets it. I haven't seen it in Sacramento until the second half, and I didn't see it in Charlotte at all. That Charlotte game was just a dud. It was. I guess I'd rather have that happen now than happen closer to the playoffs or in the playoffs. But like that game was, talk about a wake up.
That was ugly. It was
nasty.
I mean, we were up by 16. Don't forget, we were up 16 because of the second quarter. We were starting to push the pace. We were starting to split the Hornets on mismatches. We were starting to do driving kickouts. We were blowing them out of the water up 16. Then the second half, I felt New York started to play a little bit slower. I felt that they allowed Charlotte to take the tempo, and we didn't do a good job rotating to the shooters like Kelly Oubre. Gordon Hayward was feasting in the baseline. Scary Terry was keeping the Hornets ship on the water, and and it was just tough. But the Knicks are a good team. New York is a good team, though. They do it. They're a team that fights hard. They rebound, especially on offensive glass. They dive loose balls. This Knicks team is good, though. We just got to go back to the proper fundamentals like we did when we had that 9-game hot streak.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. Like what you're saying is exactly what is the case. They need to go back to the drawing board. It's the same thing that I've said about with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett needs to figure out a way to go back to the drawing board with his game. His game is all over the place right now. And he really needs to figure it out. Just
get to the hoop, RJ.
Yeah, it's get to the hoop, but also be willing to pass the ball to your teammates. Like, you don't have to take the shot. If the opposing team is leaving you open for threes, it's probably a good reason. You know what I mean? Like, knock it down if you can, but if it's not going in, don't take it. You don't got to take it. You don't have to take it.
Shot. You don't need to, RJ. You could just take a mid-range shot, and he can post up sometimes. Like post up in the block. You can do that, RJ, though. I mean, to be fair to RJ, the game against Sacramento, I know he shot 9 for 23. He was terrible in the first half, but second half, I thought he was more aggressive going to the hole in the second half. Do that, RJ. And use your size.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. To me, that makes sense. Like, you just try to do that, but also, also trust your teammates. Just show them a little love too, because that's what's going to help you in the end, and it helps the Knicks. Yeah, I agree, brother. Yeah, man, I like that. So, what are you thinking about today's game? Like, how do you feel about the Knicks versus these Clippers?
It's going to be a war. It's going to be a battle. I mean, if you look at both teams, right? Both teams thrive. If you look at both teams are both. Let's see. New York thrives off the glass. The Clippers thrive off transition. Both teams. It's going to be a close game, though. If I would have to guess, something tells me the Knicks win today. I could be wrong, but I think the Knicks win today, though. But it's going to be a war because the Clippers, don't forget this too, Ron. The Clippers, if you look at where the Clippers are, the Clippers right now are the number 5th seed in the Western Conference. They're trying to get, they're only 3 games behind the Suns. They're trying to get home court advantage there. So it's going to be a battle because both teams are trying to push the pace. Both teams are trying to find the open man. But I think the Knicks win today in a thriller. Because I think the Knicks win today in a thriller, and I think that I think that it could be the game. We'll find out that could wake this team up a little bit. I think Knicks win today at Staples Center.
Okay. Are you of the same mindset that now that the even though the Clippers have added some interesting pieces, that now that they have Russell Westbrook, it's a negative for the team, or do you think they can do well with Westbrook?
I think do I think they'll win the West with Westbrook? Probably not. Before the year, I had them win in the West, but not anymore because they've just been streaky. But I think they could do well with Westbrook. Westbrook does thrive with shooting around him, though. I know the last few games he's kind of been spotty, but Westbrook can thrive with shooting around him, though. My issue with the Clippers into why they've been such a frenetic, tight loose rotations, Paul George and Kawhi not being consistent, their bench has been streaky. And also, sometimes they don't use their size, and they play a lot of hero ball. That's why the Clippers have been a little bit up and down all year for me. But I do think they could do well with Westbrook, though. Because Westbrook did have a big – remember, Paul George did have one of his best seasons with Russell Westbrook. So, I do think the Clippers have the potential. Again, I'm not saying they're going to win the West because I don't think they're going to do it anymore. But they do have the potential to go deep in the playoffs, though.
I agree with you on that. I think so too, but I also still think that I think the Knicks have a good chance of beating them today. It's not going to be easy. The Knicks are going to have to play smart basketball and get back to what we saw during that win streak, and they'll have a good chance of beating them. And if the Knicks come out with that same thing tomorrow, they can have a good chance of beating the Lakers as well. Like, you just got to play. You got to play the right type of basketball and take smart shots and make smart possessions. See, I think that what good teams do. And I feel like the Knicks were doing it in the streak. It's almost like they realize that every possession counts.
That's
when
true.
You understand that every possession counts, you have a better chance of winning these games. You can't take possessions off. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You take one possession off, then the next possession, okay, well, I'll get a good shot, get a good look. The next possession, the team decides to play really good defense against you. So now you don't get that good look. So now that's 2 possessions. Then there's a next possession. It's a trickle down thing. You don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I definitely Pudge Nice says pay attention to Tibbs' adjustments today, and we'll see what he does against these Clippers. That's important. And also the whole thing. Doc Rivers is the coach for the Clippers, right? No.
Is Doc Rivers the coach of the Sixers? So it's
Sixers. That's what it is. Ty Lue is the coach for the Clippers, right? So it's interesting to see how that happens. How they go up against each other. Ty Lue has had he's had a rough coaching career. He's had a lot thrown at him. He's had the divas. He's had all types of stuff. He's had guys out try to be the coach when he's the coach. He's had to put up with a lot. So this is going to be interesting to see this matchup between the two.
Right. And one thing
go ahead.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Keith Turner is right. We can't use the Knicks are tired. I'm not listening to that. Every team is tired. Every team's played 60 plus games, 66, 68. I don't want to hear we're retired because remember, when the Knicks beat the Celtics, we had a day off on Monday. We didn't play on a Monday. Then we had the Hornets on Tuesday. So I'm not listening to the whole over retire. I don't respect that. Every team is fatigued. You got to overcome that. I don't want to hear we're retired. The Hornets were tired against us. They played same amount of minutes as us and that against. You know what I'm trying to say, Ron. Like they played the same amount of minutes against us. So every team's tired. Because look at the Hornets. Remember, and speaking of the Clippers and Kings, I remember the Kings were in a double overtime game with the Clippers. The following night on a Saturday, they beat the Thunder without Sabonis. So I don't want to hear we're retired. That's not why we lost to the Hornets. We lost to the Hornets and the Kings because we didn't play smart enough basketball like we did during that 9-game hot streak. So I don't want to hear we're retired because the Kings just won a game in a back-to-back. They beat the Thunder in a back-to-back after playing a double overtime game against the Clippers. I like that comment, Keith Turner. There you go. I like that comment.
That's very fair. That's a fair point. Let me get somebody in here that I haven't had on the show in a little while. I'm happy to have her. It's definitely always a pleasure to chop it up with her. And that is the one, the only, the Queen STP. I can't even say it. Forget it. I messed it up. Forget it. I'm trying to always do the Queen Steph in a way, but I can't do it right.
That's okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound great.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
hey, Steph,
I was just sitting around. I'm good. I was just sitting around listening in the background, and I said, you know what? Let me hop on. So it's always good to be on with you, Ron. G Money, it's been a long time. Good to see you. Congrats on your new channel.
Thank you.
Yes. It's very good to have both of y'all here chopping it up and talking about these Knicks. So I know you've been listening, Steph. What do you think about this matchup against the Clippers and kind of like what the Knicks need to do to get a victory today?
Yeah.
And while you're saying that, just give me a second. I'm just going to step away. I'll be right back.
Okay. Somebody is going to have to step up for us. We're without Brunson. So who's stepping up? Is it RJ? Is it Grimes? Is it IQ? Somebody is going to have to step up for the Knicks. And you can argue, I think most of us would agree that they have the two best players on the floor, and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And regardless of how they may have been playing up until this point, and I think it's been pretty well, actually, with the addition of Westbrook, on any given night, those guys can turn it on and play at another level. You know what I mean? So you can't really look at their record and look at our record and think that this should be relatively easy. They're going to have the best players on the floor. Can we hang with them? Absolutely. Can we win this game? Absolutely. But we're going to have to be on point from Julius Randle all the way down the roster. We're going to have to be on point. And our defense, which is pretty much middle of the pack, I think in the top 10 over the last 8 is going to have to be on point as well. But I definitely think it's a doable game. It's a winnable game.
Agreed. And to beat the Clippers, you gotta hold them to a hat. You gotta make sure you don't get them to the fast break.
Right.
That's how you beat the Clippers, though. Because remember, the last few games since the Clippers have won 2 in a row. If you watch against the Grizzlies and the Raptors, they were getting into the lane at will from the backdoor cut, the baseline, the lob, the stagger screens, and they were getting more into the break. Like Terrence Mann was getting break. Even Kawhi Leonard. You saw he posted Siaka on Wednesday. Woo! Took him on the soul. Paul George was starting to get his jumper going. He's starting to get into the racket, bro. So that's why the Clippers are starting to turn things around after they were on a 5-game slump, though. So to beat the Clippers, you got out-rebound them, get Zubac in foul trouble, run them off the 3-point line because George, Kawhi, Highland, Eric Gordon, Terrence Mann, Nick Batum like to stroke it from 3.
Right.
And, and also another thing, too, you got forced and turn the ball over and ball pressure Westbrook. Ball pressure. Right. Westbrook's a great player, but she struggles with players who ball pressure him because he's turnover prone. If you can do these things against the Clippers, you'll be fine.
Right. And then also, Westbrook plays downhill. He's not somebody that's going to shoot the lights out and beat you from the outside. He's somebody who plays downhill, similar to RJ. Likes to get in, get to the basket. I'm not sure who we're putting on him. I mean, he's big, he's strong, You know, he's playing a point guard for them now. And I think Quickly is going to be playing for us in terms of being able to stay in front of Westbrook. I think Quickly can do that. But in terms of strength, it remains to be seen if he's going to be able to keep him out of the lane. And Quickly cannot afford to get into foul trouble.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Can't afford to get into foul trouble.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, I hate to do that because I don't want to be that guy that's always pointing the finger at Tom Thibodeau. But I just don't like when Tom Thibodeau doesn't realize that teams are playing a certain style of basketball, right? And then you're playing them, and then they're like, oh, whoa, the Knicks are doing this against us. Oh, and they're shooting from the outside very well. And then, okay, they're giving us this defensive look, and they're doing well. After a while, they're going to study you. That's what you got to do. This is a job. The coaches are looking at you. The players are seeing what's happening out there. They're going to come at you differently in game plan. Like the other day, the play with the when the Knicks needed a shot and Julius Randle got fouled, right? And then you run this same exact play, and then Julius has the ball stolen and comes off his legs, and then they where is your thought process to say, you know what, let me give them a different look, let me show them something different because they just saw this, you know, it's just like what we saw in the Boston game. The last second shot when Julius had the ball and he turned his back. As soon as he turned his back, you had two Celtics coming from
Jaylen Brown
both
stole the ball
sides.
from the backside.
It's just so predictable sometimes. That's you gotta figure out a way. And you know that the Knicks continue to have this problems because we can't even inbound the ball sometimes.
Josh Hart, speaking of that, remember the Josh Hart play? It was just stupid. I think New York was down by 7 with 2 minutes to go. And then look, Josh Hart's been great early. I've loved Josh Hart. Great rebounder, good passer, can hit the corner three, could fly to the hoop. I love Josh Hart, could post up. But that was just a stupid and wrong play to do. Just bobbing the ball. Did he have too much popcorn? Dude, get your head in the game, man. You've been good for us all year, but get your head in the game.
Right. But what I will say to your point, Ron, at this point in the season, there's no surprises. At the end of the game, you're going to your best player. Whether you're going to use the same play, whether you're going to do a different play, the bottom line is you're going to your best player. Julius has to learn how that they're coming. And you know, like I say about Daniel Jones, his first year where he had a really hard time feeling the pocket collapsing. I'm like, yo, you don't feel that? You know, you got to have that feel.
He needs to work on his IQ, man.
And that's the same thing with Randall. When you get the ball, especially in the closing moments of the game, they're not going to play you one-on-one.
Agreed.
They're going to double. They might double on the catch. They might double on the bounce. They might. You got to be strong with the ball. This is not the first time this has happened for, Julius Randle.
Yeah, and you know, the game against Boston with the turnaround, I want to give him a little bit of a pass, even though you should understand that something like that could happen. But he turned his back. He's just going into his motion. They got caught.
Right.
The game in which the play happened back to back, the one he got fouled, and then you can see what's happening in front of you. You're right, Steph. He does. Sometimes it's the play. It has to go to Julius.
He's indecisive sometimes.
But he has to make a decision quickly, especially in those last moments, because you don't have a lot of time that you're working with, right? And then the other thing is, you also have to say, I got to trust the rest of the guys on my team. You have to, even if you're the guy. I know the stars of the league, the Jordans, the Kobes, they don't want to pass up that shot. But even Michael knew that I have to throw the ball to Bill Winnington, and he'll knock down the shot and we win. Sometimes you got to make that decision. I got to trust somebody else because they don't want the ball in my hands. And if they're going to come at me with a double team or something like that, I got to get it out quickly before it turns
no doubt
into
about it.
No possession. Yeah. No possession.
Because having the ball down the stretch doesn't necessarily mean you have to shoot it. It just means we're going to you and you're the one to make the play. Whether that's a shot, whether that's going to the basket, whether that's a pass, we're going to you for you to make the play, whatever that is, and just counting on you to read what it is. I mean, there was a game, where he did pass it off to Mitch. You know, we thought that he was gonna take that shot and he passed it off to Mitch. And I'm not sure if it was the game-winning basket, but it was, it was pretty close. You know, it was in the clutch. So yeah, I think it's something he has to, he has gotten better at. Because I said the other day, I said, because he has such a long history of this in seasons past, when he does it, it's like PTSD for me. It just brings up all of this stuff. And I said, I bet you if I counted how many times it happened this season, probably didn't even happen that much. But because it happened so much last season and the season before, when it does happen, it's like, oh, here we go again. We can't trust him down the stretch. And I think he's a different player this year. But ever so often, it does happen.
And his athleticism has improved because last year, I mean, I know he could fly through him, but also you see he's been more in shape. His athleticism has improved. His jump, I know his jump became a little bit. His athleticism has improved, and his defense has improved. You see, he's into the passing lanes, blocking shots in the block. I mean, I know his 3-point shot comes and goes, but it does go in sometimes, especially when it comes to the first half of the game. And he's always been a good rebounder, and he's showing more IQ. My only thing with Randall needs, like we all agree, and work on double teams, and just work on double teams, and don't always settle for the perimeter shot. You don't need to do that though. You don't need to do that. Yes, there's times if you're on fire you can shoot, but if you're struggling, try to get yourself to the pinch post area. Back down, back it down.
The foul line.
Get to the foul line. And he is a good free throw shooter. Because if you notice, Randall has been clutch at the free throw line this year. If you notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Dunruss Gallman in the chat. And I appreciate you. And he said Tibbs is going to find a way to win games without Brunson. I mean, he has to. He's the coach. That's his job. He's got to figure out. He's got a plan, and guys just got to step up and execute. One way to execute would be to get more shot opportunities for Quentin Grimes. And even though he's not looked at as this part, on this team in this role. Josh Hart could score the basketball.
He can.
So when you give him touches, he can score he's been very frugal with what he does out there. He's been passing up 3-point opportunities. He's been trying to, and I appreciate that. But Josh Hart, I've seen Josh Hart light it up numerous occasions. So maybe the Knicks need to figure out a way to kind of get Hart a little bit more involved offensively.
Agreed.
But he has to take the opportunities he gets too.
That's true.
You got to be aggressive. You don't have to pass it every time now.
All you need to do.
You do pass it a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and he can post up too. Josh Hart can post up too.
Yes.
That's a good point. Shout out to Billy Goat. Thank you. Appreciate you for tuning in and showing love and support as always. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. Show your love for the show and for a great panel guest I have here with Gideon and Steph, the queen in the building. There we go. East Blue Drew said, y'all heard what Cam said. So
I didn't hear what Cam said. What did Cam say?
Hold on. It wasn't too flagrant, but it was definitely something you thought okay, he might. There it is. He said he was asked about situations with the Knicks. He said it had nothing to do with basketball. It was all politics, all favoritism, blank like that, S word.
Yeah.
But so he's like, it had nothing to do with basketball. It was all politics and all favoritism. So that's how he feels about his time with the Knicks. What do you guys think about that? Gideon, what's your feeling on Cam and what he said about his time with the Knicks, and do you agree or disagree?
I look at both sides. I understand there are times we could have played Cam Reddish for certain games. There are times because he was playing well to start the year. But at the same time, I like Cam Reddish, but he can be streaky sometimes. All right, I understand he's a good finisher. He can hit the three really more at the wing. But my issue with Cam Reddish, he lacks motor sometimes. His defense comes and goes, and he's not the most smartest player in the room. I don't know if it's all politics though. I don't really respect that. I don't really think it's all politics though. I really don't really respect that. I personally think that Tibbs, even though yes, I agree Tibbs could have played Cam Reddish in certain moments. I can understand certain games why Reddish didn't play because, like I said, he's not a great defender on ball. His jumper comes and goes. He can't get to the hole and he can't score, but he lacks motor though. So I'm just like 50-50 with that comment with Cam Reddish. And we'll see him on Tuesday in Rip City, by the way.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steph?
I mean, I can see how he would feel that way. You know, remember, he was in that starting lineup. Grimes was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Grimes comes back after not the second time, but the first time. Grimes comes back, and out of nowhere, Grimes is starting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Cam is to the bench. Then Grimes goes. You know, then he's back. He's back again. He's back injured again, and then he comes back, and then eventually, Cam is out of the lineup. So I could definitely see how he would feel. This is favoritism. I've been here. I've been playing well.
Yeah.
Cam I'm pretty sure feels he could even do more, but I'm playing the role. You know, you're asking me to play, and now this guy comes in, and now he's starting. You know, over me. I can see how he could see that as favoritism, but I can also see how a coach could say, "I've drafted this player. I'm seeing this player in practice. I know what we need at that position. We need somebody that can play good perimeter defense, who can knock down shots and can do that on a consistent basis. I trust this guy." And you know what? At the time, his seat was getting a little hot. Mm-hmm. He probably was saying, I'm not wasting any more time. I'm going to put my guy in here. I don't really care how it looks. So I can see, you know, both sides of it, but I can definitely see why Cam would think that that's just favoritism. You know, this guy was injured. He came right back, and next thing you know, he's starting, and I'm on the bench. You know, so I get it. I definitely get it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody can see. I mean, we all knew something else was going on there, but yeah, I mean, listen, I got nothing to say about that, Cam. I agree with you. But yeah, it was definitely some favoritism. I do think that maybe it didn't help in the way in which he kind of handled things as far as behind closed doors. Whatever was said, maybe it didn't come out the way he wanted to, or left a bad taste in people's mouths, but it's true. It went on way too long, and it didn't make sense. And I think it was at the expense of our Knicks team, because there was definitely times where we could have used Cam out there, and he was just sitting on the bench. So yeah, it was ridiculous. The whole thing is, it's like I just want to move on. I don't want to think about it ever again. But it's never going away. I mean, at least it's not going away now. And then we're going to see them soon. So yeah,
it's gonna come. But I just want to say one more thing. Favoritism to me is not personal. You know, like, I don't like Cam. I like this person personally better. He's my favorite, so I'm gonna play him, and I'm not gonna play. I don't think that's what it was. It was, I trust this guy more than I trust Cam. This guy, we need what he brings, in my opinion, more than we need, you know, what Cam brings. And I'm gonna do what's best for the team, and I don't really care how it looks. Now, all of that being said, in terms of why he started Cam, took Cam out of the lineup and started Grimes, there was times during the season, weeks after that, maybe even months after that, where the Knicks roster was down and we was injured, and a lot of things was happening, where I thought that, okay, you know, he can come in and give us some minutes. You know, even Fournier came in, you know. So to me, it just seemed to be like, he's not playing, period, even if we only got 8 players. Like, that's the part I didn't understand. The other part I kind of understand, but that part I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. I think if we didn't have 5 players, we might have forfeited. Like, yeah, I don't know, but I hear you though. That at some point, but I did understand. Like, one thing that's what I've noticed in so far with this team this year, whether it's Tibbs or the front office, whoever's calling the shots, at some point, when they say this is what it is, when they determine this is what it is, this is what it is. when
Right.
they said we're gonna move Cam, and he's got to go, but we're not gonna risk him getting hurt and messing up the deal. Then it was Cam. You're never gonna see the court as a Knick again.
Oh, they did
until
say
we
that.
get
I
you out
missed
of here.
that.
No.
Okay.
I didn't. They didn't say that. I'm saying internally, because
Oh,
obviously
okay.
This last
it
game
has
was
to
against
do.
the Mavs
Right.
at home.
Yeah, it also has to do with them also trying to keep him as fresh and healthy as possible. Because there's no reason they couldn't have put other guys in garbage time just to give them a little love, and they didn't do that for Cam. So they obviously tried to make sure he stays healthy.
Right.
The flip side, when I say it, is with Rose. Like people were saying, and I don't know, I kind of bought into it earlier in the year. Like, oh, maybe they're saving Rose for the playoffs just to try to keep him. No, I don't think they're saving Rose for anything. I don't think we're gonna see Rose. That's my thought. Like, I think that's it.
Don't tell Tony Crow that though, but I agree with you.
And I love, and I look at both sides of this. I love Derrick Rose. He can finish at the rim. His jumper is improved, especially at the 3-point line. He has a nice floater game. He has a quick step. He's an improved defender. But what's the point keeping Derrick Rose? We're not going to play the guy. What's the point? If you're not going to play the guy, you might as well bought him out and let him go to like the Suns or the Bucks so he can chase the championship. Come on,
he didn't want to be. He didn't want to be bought out, from what I understand.
I mean, that is true though. That is true. But if we're gonna keep him, at least give him some minutes. I'm not saying 20+ minutes, but at least give him some minutes so he can get a rhythm feel of the game going into playoff time.
I mean, that makes sense. Shout out to CAA Mafia. He said, we need this game if we are for real. We have to find a way without Brunson. Can't lose 3 in a row.
Agreed.
I mean, I
Miami's
agree.
right
It's
on
tough.
their tails. The Heat are under Schnoz. The Heat are only 3 games behind the Knicks, and they're playing the Magic tonight. More than likely, they're probably going to beat the Magic. So we just got to just take care of these next 2 games. And we got to watch it for the Nets. Brooklyn, after they're in the dirt, they're starting to rise like last. They won 4 out of 5. They're only a half game behind New York. So we got to watch out for those teams.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want to put it in the ether, but we only 3 games out of the play-in. So we got to hope that the bottom doesn't fall out in these last 14 games, because the Knicks have been streaky. 8-game winning streak, 5-game losing streak. This game winning streak, this game losing streak.
Steph, I said it earlier. We're the streakiest
we
team
have
in
a
the
tough
NBA.
schedule.
Yeah,
tough schedule. I mean, Denver, Minnesota, the LA teams, Washington's not easy. Indiana twice. New Orleans, Zion might be back by that time. Miami, Orlando. I think we'll beat Orlando, but don't forget they almost beat us. Like, it's not gonna be easy though.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would say that I think that, at the very minimum, the Knicks got to go 2-2 on this West Coast trip.
Agreed.
There's definitely room for us to go 3-1, and if they go 3-1, no harm, no foul. We'll look at the standings and be like, okay, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. But we gotta at least go 2-2. You gotta be. Look, Portland is a must-win right now. Okay,
agreed.
Portland is circled as a must-win. Now it's all about figuring out which one of these games, the Clippers or the Lakers game, can we really put to bed? I don't know. You got to look at trying to win each game, of course, but we need one of these two. These are both going to be tough. I don't know. Exactly. I don't know what they're going to do
here.
The
Clippers and Lakers are starting to surge.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not easy right now. Don't get it twisted, Knicks fans. This is not going to be easy.
Right. Because they won their last 2 games. Were those the 2 games Russell Westbrook played, or he had played even before then?
Are you talking about before the 2-game winning streak? Yeah, Russell Westbrook played all 7 games for the Clippers. So
he played all 7 games for them.
Yeah.
Okay. He changes them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He does. I mean, he changed the Lakers too. Now that he's not there.
Because right now the Lakers are starting to feast. They won 8-3 since the Westbrook trade. And don't look now, NBA. The Lakers are. If you look at this, I know we're talking about the Knicks, but the Los Angeles Lakers, or the resurgent Lakers, I should say, though, who just came back from a 15-point hole against the Raptors last night, and D'Lo looked good in that game. Reeves, D'Lo, AD didn't even have an impact offensively. Played good defense. The Lakers are playing well, though. I mean, Vanderbilt's a good pickup. Beasley. If you look at the Lakers, LA is only a game and a half behind the Clippers for 5th. Think about that. And they were 2-10 to start the year.
Right. Yeah. So to Ron's point, neither one of these games is going to be easy.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
But you know what?
Oh,
We did it to Boston.
That's
We didn't
true.
think it would
that's
be
what I'm
easy.
saying.
We went in there without Brunson, so it's possible.
Down 14 in the third, he came back. Yeah.
Now, the only thing that worries me with all of these games, it's our style of play on the offensive end, not the defensive end. We play defense the way we play defense. It's the offensive style of play because the Knicks know how to put up points. They know how to win a certain way. But over this 9-game winning streak, we've been shooting a lot of 3-point shots and we've been hot. Now, these last 2 games, we haven't been hot at all. So I'm a little worried about that. What's our style of play offensively going into these next few games? So I think we need to get kind of back to what we started off doing. The Knicks have been known to score all year long. I mean, we're averaging, I just saw that. Now, granted, that was inflated over this streak, but we're averaging like 117 points per game right now. It's crazy. We got to get back to that. Points in the paint, smart shots, be selective. It's not saying Julius can't go get his threes, but if it's not looking good,
Take
Julius,
good
there's
threes.
no room
Good
for you.
threes.
No room for 2 for 12.
Yeah.
We can't. You lose like
Yeah.
that. And RJ got to get back to whatever the hell he was doing in the streak. Who was taking, less shots, and he was being somewhat effective doing it. I don't want to see 1 for 8 from 3 from RJ.
That's unacceptable.
And quickly was 1 for 11. I just think we was just off. I think we was just off that game. But to your point, in terms of our offense, they're going to do their best, like I believe is going to happen in the playoffs, to take the ball out of Randall's hand. Whether that's a double team, whether that's a trap, whether that's crowding them, whatever they're going to do, who's going to make them pay? Because he's a willing passer. He's going to pass the ball. Is Grimes going to hit the shots today? Is Quickly hitting shots today? Is RJ hitting shots today? That's going to be the issue. Those guys that are playing off of Randall, what are they doing?
Yep.
And Randall, when he does get his opportunities, whether it's an open 3 where it's coming back to him or whatever it is he on and hitting his shots?
Agreed. And also got to utilize the mid-range game. I understand the NBA is more of a 3-point shooting game, but there are some teams that take mid-range shots, like Phoenix, Chicago, Denver. There are teams who do take mid-range shots. So if you're in New York, during that 9-game streak, we were hitting the long ball, but we also utilize the mid-range game at the baseline or at the elbow or at the wing. Like if you're Randall, you know why you've been great all year for the most part? You not only are you shooting threes, you're utilizing the baseline fadeaway, the wing jump shot, the elbow jump shot, hitting the shot at the nail. Same thing with Brunson. Now he's hurt. RJ Barrett. I know RJ's been streakier than Carwax sometimes, but RJ Barrett can finish at the rim and occasionally can hit a mid-range sometimes. Not aggressive, occasionally.
Right.
If we want to get back into our winning ways, we got like we all agree, utilize our size to get to the hoop, get certain guys of the other team in foul trouble, don't complain to the refs, and also play fast. We gotta play fast. I feel the last 2 games we're not playing fast though.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to do that with Randall, but that second team can.
The second team came with Obi, Ihart, Josh Hart, Quigley, McBride.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, when we all can see that outside of playing smart, playing fast, moving the ball, sharing the ball, trusting your teammates, getting guys shots. The Knicks have moved away from a lot of different things, maybe for the better. But like, why is Obi not still that transition factor? Like, why is he not getting out and running anymore? I mean, people had said before, which I kind of agreed, that maybe he was making a concerted effort to stick around to try to get rebounds because he's been poor at rebounding. But he's not getting rebounds anyway, so you might as well take off, brother. I
know, but don't settle for corner 3 too much.
Maybe they telling him that though, to stay in there and rebound. That's possible.
Yeah, but he ain't getting them. And now we got a guy in Josh Hart who's a great rebounder, quickly rebounds well. Ihart's been rebounding well. Mitch is back. He rebounds. Like, we got guys who can rebound. Obi, take off, Obi. We need you out there. Push the pace. Let's see if we can get some easy opportunities. I've been waiting because I know like Josh Hart likes to push. I thought Josh Hart being here would really open things up for Obi because that's somebody he can run with. We haven't really seen a lot of it. So like that's something that with Brunson not being there and less ISO ball from that standpoint, let's get out and run a little bit more. The other thing is get Grimes more opportunities. The other thing is maybe Hart can be a little selfish and take more shots because he can score when he has moments.
Isaiah Hartenstein too sometimes. A little selfish.
Yeah, different things like that. And the other thing is too, and this may be something that a coach might have to point out. And I don't know if they will because Randall's been playing so good this year that maybe you don't want to mess up his process. But maybe Randall shouldn't go crazy in the first quarter and try to get off to one of them hot starts, because the benefit of Brunson here is Randall would go get his in the first quarter or the first half. But if he's tired or whatever's going on, if the team is now looking at him, and Brunson had the back end. We don't got Brunson for the back end now. So we need Julius for the whole game. So I'm just saying maybe he needs to kind of tailor it. Don't go full throttle in the first day. If you got it going, go. But if it's not going, don't force the issue. Just take things within realm and then save yourself and some of that energy for later in the game, because we need you throughout the whole game. So just a thought. I'm just thinking maybe.
Yeah. He usually gets a big rest in the second quarter. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but he rests. Sometimes he'll rest for that entire second quarter. Sometimes he'll come back in around the 6 mark, sometimes 4. Sometimes I've seen him come back at the 2-minute mark.
It's true.
I don't know if we're going to have the luxury of doing that today, unless somebody steps up from the beginning. Yeah.
Right. And then I was just going to say, shout out to Cam from the Kickback. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, my brother, as always. Also, shout out to Agent Super Argo. I appreciate you, bro. Good to see you. Cam said, you would think that with the relation Quickly has with Obi, that he'd be able to get him going more. Quickly needs to get Obi on the board with the program. Now, I wanted to highlight this because this is interesting. Have you guys noticed that the Quickly Obi dynamic hasn't been that prevalent over X amount of months or whatever?
There hasn't been a
like I don't know.
And there's times when Quickly will not pass it to him and go in another direction. Now, I don't think he's purposely looking him off, but I think Quickly has grown at that playmaking position, and I think that he's no longer just locked into Obi Toppin. I think right now he's locked into which is something I was hoping for him for his growth. What do we need right now? I gotta see everybody. I gotta see everything. I gotta make sure that I'm getting the best shot to somebody, not just Obi. So I do agree with you. He is definitely less locked into Obi.
Yeah.
And I think that's hurting Obi as far as the fast break points are concerned.
True.
But I think in the half court offense, he still put up his shot. You look at 10 minutes, 5 shots, 12 minutes, 7 shots, 4 shots. So Obi is still getting his shots. But those fast break points, I agree with you. Not as much.
Yeah, we haven't seen IQ and Obi 2-man game really since the end of last year, and at times the 4-seed year though. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as to what Steph is saying, I do think that it's not affecting Quickly. Quickly is still improving and growing, but I definitely do think it's affecting Obi a little bit, because that camaraderie and the fact that when he's out there, if other people might miss Obi, he knows that his boy Quickly, like, he got me. He's gonna see me if I'm out there. But it's like, Quickly looks like he's looking for everybody. He's not now. It's not. I'm not focused on Obi, so that's good. That's good, because I complained that Quickly has some tunnel vision in the past, but it's he's expanded. That's a good sign. We'll see. I mean, now, guys, as much as I want to, we've talked about what the Knicks need to do, and we've also said some stuff about Randall. Randall has the kind of over the past game and a half, because I'm going to say in the second half against Sacramento, he kind of looked like the Randall we've been seeing again. But that first half and that whole game against Charlotte, we look like the bad Randall again. Like, he was in his head. The confidence wasn't there. He was not happy, and it was showing. His emotions were all over the place. So, hopefully he's woken up and snapped out of that. Because listen, let's not forget, shout out to Julius Randle. This is the player of the week last week, folks. 29.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists. Shout out to Julius Randle, man. I'm not going to take you for granted, brother. You still deserve the kudos. Yes. He's been doing the damn thing. So Knick fans too out there, don't jump off the Randall train, man. He still deserves
Oh,
the
no
love.
doubt.
He just had a
Agreed.
bad game and a half. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
not forget that.
Yeah, Randall is an all-star player. He's a guy that can hit the three at the wing. He can fly to the hoop and mash it on your head. He can post up in a low block. He's a good rebounder, especially when it comes to defensive rebounding. And also, like I said, his defense has improved this year. You see him staying on his man. You see that he's not in as much foul trouble as he was last year, and he's been more accountable this year, though. Randall is still a good player.
Mhm.
Yes, the last 2 games he hasn't really been himself, but he's still a good talent. He's still a good player, though.
Right. What I
Yeah.
will add to that, though, when you take a player like Brunson away, they can load up on Randall.
That's
When
true.
they load up on Randall, he's not going to get the touches. He's not going to look as good because they're doubling him. What do
Mhm.
the other players do to create space for him? If those other players
Right.
are hitting their shots, they're driving to the basket off of those double teams, they're making them pay. Randall gets more space and he could be himself.
Mhm.
And that's the domino effect of one player going out and then being able to key on another player. I think Randall is going to be fine. I mean, in
fine, yeah.
Sacramento, the entire team struggled.
We just couldn't we just couldn't put the ball in the hoop. I mean, the defense, I know the Kings scored 122 points, but if you actually watch the game, the Kings were hitting tough shots. I mean, tough contested. Malik Monk, Darren Fox, Sabonis in the block. Heck, Kevin Hurdy hit a long range bomb.
He did.
So,
He did.
like,
Listen, a 7-game series, I think the Knicks win. The Knicks was dominating them on the offensive boards, but they weren't able to capitalize as much as I would have liked them to. They had 23 offensive
23
rebounds and
rebounds,
only
23, yeah.
17 second chance points. So they didn't capitalize off of it. If the Knicks shoot just a little better, if one of those players shoot better,
it's
the
a
Knicks
different
win
game.
that game.
And also missed
Yeah.
free throws. How can we not talk about missed free? 11
20 of
missed free throws.
31, yeah.
You make look. Obviously, we can't change what happened.
Yeah,
You make
and that's
16
been the case for games in a row. Even during the win streak, we were shooting like 65% for some of those games. So
crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Parrish Duggar. Yeah, a tired Julius is a useless run. Yeah, I hear you. Like I get it, but you know what? One thing I will say is Julius has been playing tired for his whole career. Like especially beyond the Tibbs. Tibbs runs Julius ragged. He's an Iron Man. So
Yes.
I just feel
and
like
a tired Julius is 65% of Julius is better than 100% of Obi Toppin, in my opinion.
Agreed.
At this point,
Agreed.
listen, I was an Obi Toppin warrior, but I got to call it as it is. Obi doesn't do what he needs to do to enforce his will on the game.
He doesn't defend.
And I need to see more.
Up.
I need to see more.
In his limited minutes, nobody's expecting him to score 20 points. Like, we get it. We know if a person is playing limited minutes. So I think people are like, what do you expect him to do? We're not looking at the stats. Like, nobody is expecting him in his 12 minutes, whatever he's getting to score 18. Like, it's impossible.
Like, be productive.
But just impact the game. We're smart enough that we can look and be like, you know what? It didn't show up in the stat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
But what Obi Toppin did, you could see it.
Right, rebound, block, or get an assist.
Deflections,
Deflections, like,
whatever it is.
It's clear we got a person who's a perfect example of that. We notice everything he does in the games. That's Josh Hart. We see how he impacts the games, the hustle plays, everything he does. Like, man, we didn't have that before. Like, you can see it. It's tangible. And that's the thing with Obi. Like, as I said, I don't expect Obi to do much in 12 to 15 minutes, but I do expect that whatever he's doing, he's playing hard the way he was doing it before. He was where's Obi's speed? One of the things that we saw about Obi being 6'9" at his position, he was out there. Like, he was getting out there and just impacting it and forcing the defense to play like, oh, we got to watch. He's a leaker. We got to watch that. Whatever. It takes them out of their scheme, whatever they're trying to do. It's helpful. That's all I'm saying. Like, these things, that Obi does are good. It's just we have to get back to it. And I don't care what nobody says. Obi already admitted admitted in the press conference after the game. I think he had scored 40 points or 30-something points. And they asked him, like, what's going on? What's been the change? He's a confidence. Obi is lacking. He's a player who needs strong confidence, and I don't know if he has it right. We got to get him back.
But that's always been the case with Obi. That's always been his issue, and I'm not trying to bang on him, but if you're going to have a long career in the NBA, you got to figure out how to be confident despite the circumstances. And I get it. It's tough. It's not easy. But when you talk to McBride, he's confident no matter what. You know, you haven't played in such
Don't be scared to fail, man.
You wasn't in the starting lineup before he was in the rotation. You haven't been in the rotation, blah, 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 blah. He said, I'm confident my time is going to come. I'm like, okay. All right. And from the beginning, Tibbs, was, Tibbs is he's always looking over his shoulder. Everybody is looking over their shoulder with Tibbs because Tibbs got something to say no matter what. You just got to get to the point where, okay, I've heard him scream at IQ his first season. IQ still put the 3-point shot up wherever he was shooting from. I'm like, dang, he don't even care.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I love about
that's the point you got to get to.
Right. Obi, what we're saying is this: don't be arrogant, but be confident. It's okay to fail. We all fail in life. We just got to pick yourself up and try to do the little nitty gritty, though.
Yeah. And before we get out of here and get to final words and stuff, Ricardo says, Ron and Queen, they get this inbound situation figured out. They're gonna come back to bite us in a big spot. I am gonna lie to you. Now it's becoming a thing where I'm a little like, yo, what is going on? Like, how many times do we gotta see that they're struggling to get this inbound off? Like, there's been times where we get it off and it's almost right there at the 5-second point. Like, it's getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
The Josh Hart thing was a brain fart, though.
Yeah, that was a brain fart.
But we've seen it with Brunson. Brunson's been trying to inbound it and had the issue, like, or a bad pass. RJ's throwing it away. Brunson's throwing it away. Like, they're struggling with these inbound plays. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, man.
And I used to really like the plays that Tibbs would call out of timeouts. I thought they were kind of the highlight of his coaching. Some of them are really good. So, it all transitioned. Like, he gets the ball in bounds. He sets his little backdoor play, and then maybe it's a lob to bitch or somebody cutting to the back. Like, they were good plays. So whatever happened there, we're going to get back to that point, because right now it's looking a little crazy. And then if you see, like, a lot of times Jalen Brunson is the inbounder. So who's the guy we trust right now? Is it Josh Hart? Is he's the new guy up?
Yeah, probably.
Josh Hart's the best inbounder you got. Yeah.
Okay.
Inbounder we got,
Yeah, we just got to figure out a way to get open and set better screens. That's another thing about this Knicks team. They've always had problems setting proper screens for each other. But you can learn from it. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best. But hey, guys, before I get out of here, I just want to get some final words from Gideon, my guy G Money, and the Queen. Thoughts about what you think going forward, man. This West Coast trip and this game today, and whatever you got going on, just shout it out, Gideon.
One salute, nice to see you again, Steph. Nice to see you again. Please subscribe to her channel. Please subscribe to her channel, please. She knows her sport. She's a humble person. She's awesome. Please subscribe to her channel, please. You're welcome. Also, subscribe to my man Ron, still Knicks fans. It's free. It's easy. You just get your finger, you bang in the subscribe, and it's easy though. He brings the meat and potatoes of each story. He's a humble guy, smart, tells you all the details you need to know. Also, subscribe to my channel, The Last Laugh podcast with me, Biggie, Prince, and The Last Laugh podcast. And also, salute everyone in the chat. It's been a phenomenal season for the Knicks. I know the last 2 games have not been pitch perfect, but it's been a phenomenal year for the Knicks. We just got to finish on the right foot, going into the playoffs with momentum. Everyone just needs to pitch in. If you're Julius Randle, you've been our MVP all year. Go back. The last 2 games, you really haven't found your niche, but try to go back into what you were doing during a 9-game streak. Be the leader you were showing us that 9-game streak. Jalen Brunson, rest up, heal up. RJ Barrett, even though he didn't shoot well versus Sacramento in the second half, he was aggressive going to the hole. Do that, RJ. be aggressive, go into the paint. Don't just jack up too many corner threes though. If you Tibbs, you've been amazing all year, Tibbs, but there's been times in which you made me scratch my head. Maybe play Derrick Rose some sort of minutes though. Maybe don't overplay certain guys. That's my thing there. If you OB, just be more aggressive. If your IQ, I think will be fine, but just don't settle too much for the outside shot. Go back to that 9 games. Go back in which you were posted when you were attacking the basket, as far as going to the right side of the baseline or using the shot, the nail. Go back to that though, and that's my thing there. So, may God bless you, keep you safe, and go New York, go New York, go!
There you go.
Gotta love it. Thank you, G.
And also, Grimes, shout out to you against the Kings. Continue to hit those threes like you did, and go to the hoop.
Yeah, man. Beautiful thing. Yeah. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, no, Josh was telling Randall he was in the backcourt. I got you. Okay, so that's why. All right. Well, it was what it was. Steph?
That's what it was. Thank you, Ron, for having me on. It's been a long time, but it was a good show. It's good to see you, G Money, and it's always good to rock out with the with the chat. Very knowledgeable. I've learned a lot. From just reading and digesting the chat comments and the comments that's left on videos, gives you something to think about and helps make my takes a bit more nuanced. So shout out to the chat as well. Listen, I have mixed feelings about these next 14 games. I think the Knicks have an opportunity to go back on a run and solidify the 5th seed, or maybe even move up to the 4th seed.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an equal opportunity for the bottom to fall out and the Knicks to be in the play. And though if I had to put money on it, it would be more the 1st than the 2nd. I really think we are a very good team. I think we're mentally tough. I think we step up like we did in Boston, like we were able to scrap and get back into that Sacramento game. Good teams lose games. Good teams lose 2 in a row. Good teams don't shoot well. Good teams go through hard times. So this is still a very good team. And I anticipate 1 or 2 players are going to give us even more now that Brunson is out. This is going to be a tough game today, but I anticipate, I'm putting my money on the Knicks if I was betting, that the Knicks would win. And it's not just being a homer. It's just you lost 2 in a row. You're a half game in front of Brooklyn. You got to feel the urgency of that and come out with your best basketball. And as far as my channel, many of you know me from the Queen's Court, Nothing But Knicks. Shout out to Sim, forever grateful. But I have my own channel now, Dope Soul Sports Talk, Dope Soul Knicks Talk. And every Thursday night, I do a panel show, just nicking it. And every morning after the Knicks play, I do a morning recap show. So if you like my takes, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Really good content creators we got as part of this community. And guys, I talked about this earlier. Don't forget to support these shows. They're definitely shows that we should all be rocking with and supporting. Good content, great content from the community, as well as these shows. There's so many
right there is. Wow.
So support everybody, show your love, like, comment, subscribe, and just continue to put back into the community. This community is big. There's a lot of shows, but there's so many Knicks fans out there that aren't tapped in. There's people that only like to get in shows and watch them when the Knicks are winning. There's some people that don't even get on YouTube and do this type of stuff. They just go to the games or watch it on TV. So there's so much untapped stuff out there that we can all benefit from. It'd be a great thing if we could just keep spreading the word and showing the love for all these great shows. Now, shame on me. Before I get out of here, I forgot to ask these guys one very important question. I got to get their thoughts on it before we run. Gideon, I'll start with you. Jalen Brunson, rest him for as long as it takes, or let's just get him back as soon as we can?
If I were in New York, rest him until we come back from this road trip. If you're in New York, rest him until we come back for this road trip. Because another thing too, Ron, I'm sorry for making this long. I'm sorry. But after the Blazers game, New York doesn't play again until Saturday after the Blazers game. Okay. Because remember, we play we play today, tomorrow, Tuesday on the road, and then we don't play again until Saturday against the Nuggets. So if you're the Knicks, I will rest Brunson, let him heal, let him put some ice on his foot, give him some pain meds, rest him until Saturday and see how he looks.
Okay. I can rock with that. Shout out to Kareem Grant. What's up, twin? I appreciate you. Good to see you. William Thompson in the building. Salute.
Definitely.
Guys, if you just joined in, smash that like button. Show your love for the panel and the show. But watch the replay, man, if you can. You won't be able to get too much out of it. The Knicks game starts at 4, but, get a little out of it. Steph, what do you think? Rest Brunson until something like what? That's a good point, Gideon. They don't play after this next Tuesday game until Saturday, so that's a good amount of time. But do we need to rest him until he's really healthy 100%?
Well, this is the thing. If he's injured, then you have to rest him. As long to me, when you say rest, is like he can play, but we trying to give him a little break.
Well, that's what I mean. Like on the Tibbs, you never know. It's like,
you never know, right?
Like he's really hurt. Rest him. It was really hurt. Rest again.
Right. I think if he's injured, you rest him as long as it takes. You rest them as long as it takes, whatever it is, and we just have to deal with it. If we don't do well and we're in the play-in, we just got to work our way from there. And if you have Brunson, you have a good chance of doing so. However, load management type rest.
Yeah, that'll be disrespectful.
No, we in the midst of a positioning type seed. We got that 3 games, the 3 days between Tuesday and Saturday. When we get to the playoffs, they don't do it like they used to. It used to be back-to-backs, 4 games. Like it's really spread out in the playoffs as well. So no load management, but if he's injured, yes, he should stay out as long as he needs.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Listen, we can't play around with these players. And, I did say this before, and some people were like, no, listen, if he can play, he can play. We need him out there. You see what happens. He played in that Sacramento game, re-injured that foot. And now we won't know how long it's going to take for him to get back. I understand the need for it, and we need him out there, but I'd rather have him for the end of the regular season and definitely for the playoff run. So that's important.
Yep.
So shout out to everybody. Shout out to the chat. Thank you to my great panelists today, G Money and Steph, aka the Queen, in the building. Salute to you guys. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans. We'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11 a.m. for Know the Ledge, Mondays for SKF Weekly at 9 p.m. or Thursdays at 8 p.m. on the NBK Network. Nothing but Knicks for the NBA Report. Salute to all y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Hey, man, let's hope for the Knicks come out and just play good basketball in this game. Whether they win or lose, I hope they win. Right. I just want them to play the way they were playing during that 9-game win streak. We can live with that. If you play hard and it comes down to a last second shot, whatever. You can live with it if they put out their best foot, their best product out there and had a chance. But we do not want to see what we saw in the first half of Sacramento or in that Charlotte game. Get that out of there. Throw that away.
Yeah.
Throw that away.
No doubt.
Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to the chat. Smash that like button on your way out. And if you have time, I believe I already saw Knicks Real Talk is on with Sha Money and Devon. Go over there, get your Knick Talk going until the game starts, man, and just support the rest of these shows in the community. There's so much great content, so many great content creators, man. So I'm happy to be a part of it. That's all I can say is let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. Go New York. Go New York. Go.
Let's go. We out of here.